Welcome to Titans Field on the Eastern Florida State College campus in Melbourne, Florida for the 2013 NJCAA Women's Soccer National Championship. Tonight, it'll be Iowa Western Community College versus Navarro College. I'm J.C. Meyerholtz, and I'll be joined by Giles Malone, who's in the United Soccer League's Hall of Fame. You know, Giles, it's been an exciting week of soccer, so why don't we take a few minutes and see how the teams got to this point.
Thanks, JC. Well, the tournament started in a very nice way with a ceremony recognizing all 12 teams, accompanied by Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivy's color guard leading the festivities. So it was on to pool play now. College team from New York, the College of Lake County from Illinois, and Iowa Western Community College. Our first match pitted the number 1 seed Iowa Western Reavers taking on the 12th seed Lancers from Lake County. Iowa Western dominated, putting Lake County goalkeeper Chelsea Knack to the test early and often. Knack responded with some very nice saves, but was eventually worn down when freshman Celia Jimenez scored her first goal. The Reavers would take a 1-0 lead into halftime. But the second half was all Iowa Western. They scored 4 more goals, including 2 more from Jimenez for her hat trick, and the Reavers sent a message early with a 5-0 domination victory.
Well, we're obviously very excited to be here. You know, there's nothing better than, you know, girls grinding and working hard through a season and being rewarded, you know, playing in a national championship. So we're very excited to be here. We love being here.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you feel being here at the national tournament and already winning your first match?
It's surreal. I mean, we worked all year to get this, and now that we're here, we just want to do our job and try to get the ring.
Can you tell me a little bit about some players who stood out today and, yeah, just talking about what they did that made it a success?
Absolutely. We had Celia Jimenez that stepped up big time and actually put away 3 of them today, so props to her. But, I mean, the build-up into some of the goals that we scored today, I mean, it was just a complete team effort. You know, another gal that definitely stands out is Cassandra Anderson, number 7, just kind of the heartbeat of our team in the midfield, just grinds and grinds and grinds all game long. And then all 4 of our back line and our goalkeeper coming up big with a shutout. I mean, just a complete team effort for sure.
Our second match pitted the College of Lake County Lancers versus the Monroe College Mustangs. Once again, Lake County was on the defensive most of the game. Here we see Chelsea Knack making another nice save for the Lancers. The freshman Sandra Zavala finally broke the scoreless streak with 11 minutes 40 seconds into the first half and took a 1-0 lead into the halftime period. But less than 5 minutes into the second half, Monroe's Taylor O'Leary was fouled in the box, setting up a dead ball penalty kick from the spot. It looked like the Mustangs were going to break it open when freshman Anna Rodriguez scored just minutes later, but she was called offsides and it remained tied. And Gemma Crane would not be denied after weaving her way skillfully through the Lancers' defense. The final score, Monroe 2, Lake County 1.
I'm proud of the girls, showed a lot of character, showed a lot of fight. They pulled together. We haven't been down much this season, and we were this game, and they did a nice job of fighting back and playing together and showing a lot of character. Going forward, you know, everyone's reminding us we're playing the number 1 team in the country tomorrow. For us, it's just, you know, it's another team, 2 great teams getting after it, and you know, we're hoping that tomorrow we can come out a little bit more relaxed, play a little bit more of our brand of football, and you know, earn an opportunity to make it to the semifinals.
Obviously, everyone was nervous. It's a big thing. It's the first time we've been here. Didn't know really what to expect, but we were prepared as much as we could be. And to come off the field with the win, I mean, there was ups and downs with the weather. we adapted well, and we come out with a win, and everyone's just feeling great and just getting ready for tomorrow now.
Can you tell me some thoughts that went through your head as you guys conceded the first goal? Like, what were you thinking? Were you a little nervous?
We were nervous, but, you know, we'd been in that position before. We know how to handle it.
3 hours north of Houston.
Just regroup, think about it, and get our stuff back together. And that's what we did. We came out on top, just relax. We didn't panic. We just played football, and that's what we do.
Is it Corsicana? That would set the stage to determine the winner of Pool A and who would advance to the semi-final.
1 hour.
This match pitted Monroe College versus Iowa Western Community College.
3 hours north of Houston.
The Reavers of Iowa State pressed Monroe throughout the first half, repeatedly testing the packed-in defense, but the Mustangs stood firm and went into halftime tied at 0. Iowa Western ended up having 22 shots with 10 on goal to none from Monroe.
Last night, and I
And
thought
it
it was
wasn't
being
until
clever by
almost
saying
85 minutes into a rainy second half that Iowa Western freshman midfielder Nicole Gowans chipped in a shot over Monroe goalkeeper Devin Breyer and lifted the Reavers into Friday's national semifinals with a 1-0 victory.
They did a great job, Monroe did, defensively, keeping absolutely everything out except on the one. And, you know, it was great.
Testing 1
It was
2.
just something that,
Testing 1 2 3.
I attribute
Janay
to our
Medina,
girls, to the team, to their
Veridiana
mentality,
Moreno,
and this
Lexi
never
Riggs.
say die mentality. So.
A strong Pool B matched up the
There is
St.
the
Louis
headset.
Community College Archers with the Laramie County Community College Golden Eagles, and thirdly with the Paradise Valley Community College Pumas. The first game in Pool B play pitted the number 2 seed and last year's national champion Paradise Valley Pumas from Arizona against the number 11 St. Louis Archers. A nice stop was made by Archers goalkeeper Apollonia Thomas. But sophomore Erica Gonzalez would score about 23 minutes into the game for the Pumas. As you can see here, Erica Gonzalez went down the right wing and hit a nice low shot past goalkeeper. Then sophomore Nicola Insa would get an assist from classmate Erica Peck. Followed by a goal from sophomore Ashley Johnson, and the rout was on. Paradise Valley would add one more in the second half for an easy and dominating 4-0 victory.
We work so hard as a unit, and it's just not one player or a group of players, it's every single player. Every single player contributes to this team and gets the job done, so it's just a great group effort. And you can't fail when you have a great group effort.
Great start. It was a great start. I feel good about it. You know, long trip coming in here and you know, getting a win and a resounding win. I got to feel great about that.
The next game of pool play pitted the St. Louis Community College against Laramie Community College, who one might think would be rusty after a long road trip from Wyoming and not having played since November 2nd. For almost 30 minutes, that appeared to be the case, but with 17 minutes left in the first half, sophomore Taylor Hockley beat St. Louis goalkeeper Apollonia Thomas on a header and took a 1-0 lead into halftime. A clever free kick by the midfielder put Hockley in with a lovely timed header and run into the box. A replay shows what a skillful free kick that was, as Hockley very carefully measured a header over the goalkeeper. Hockley then assisted as sophomore Sayet Mejia Bello beat Thomas at the 40-57 mark for a 2-0 lead. The victory set the stage for a rematch with Paradise Valley, who knocked Laramie County out of the tournament last year.
We were pretty physical, they were physical back, and our chemistry was good. They were bickering a little bit amongst each other, and I think that we're just a better team today.
Next up was the Laramie County Community College versus Paradise Valley Pumas. Under very wet conditions indeed, Laramie wasted little time in getting on the scoreboard as sophomore midfielder Francesca Alley beat a diving Paradise goalkeeper Rachel Cardwell to the left side of the net 8 minutes and 9 seconds into the first half. Paradise Valley sophomore Nicola Insa would give the Pumas a 2-1 lead with 2 quick goals within 3 minutes in the second half. INSA scored at the 37:30 and 34:29 marks, and it appeared Paradise was en route to oust Laramie from the tournament for the second straight year. Laramie County sophomore Taylor Hockney would tie the game on a penalty kick resulting from a handball, with 29 minutes to play and regulation would end at 2-2. So another game will be decided by penalty kicks. The Golden Eagles from Laramie County would prevail 4-2 with sophomore Taylor Hockney recording her second PK of the day and knocking last year's national champion Paradise Valley out of the tournament.
Well, it's definitely a good feeling because of our run-in with them last year and how bad they beat us. But they put up a really good fight, and I thank them for that so they can get us ready for the rest of the semis. And to get into the semis as a sophomore is a really good feeling because my school hasn't been in the semis in a while.
Can you tell me a little bit about the conditions today and how they play a factor in the game?
Oh, for us, we love it. If we were in Wyoming and it was raining, it'd be so cold, it'd probably be snowing. I think today's 18 degrees, so a rain with warm rain is awesome. I think the field drains really well. I don't think it affected too much. I mean, some skipping balls, but I love it. It was just a great time and a great fun match.
Well, usually we had Sajit take number 14. We had her take the ones during the regular season, but I haven't missed a PK at all this year in practice and stuff, so I was just like, I need to step up big in this game, especially at nationals, and I need to produce and have faith in myself.
Pool C featured host Eastern Florida State College, seated at number 10, College of Southern Maryland, seated at 6, and Navarro College from Texas at number 3. In the first game of Pool C play, the Eastern Florida Titans, last year's runners-up, would have their hands full with the Bulldogs of Navarro. A good crowd was on hand to watch a good match, which saw the Bulldogs take an early lead at the 33-minute mark when freshman Shelby Evans found the net. Watch this replay as Shelby Evans times the run nicely and is slotted into the back of the net. But the Titans would have a chance to tie when sophomore Amanda Lodge was thrown to the ground, setting up a dead ball free kick from the spot. The penalty kick will be taken by sophomore co-captain Sue Komani. The first half ended at a tie, 1-1. The Titans would hold on well until the 11:28 mark in the second half, and Navarro's Trudy Carter would give the Bulldogs their second point, and they would hold on for a tough 2-1 victory.
This team, they believe in the coach, and they believe in themselves. They said they want to win the national, and they're going for it, and they work hard. So once you work hard, it will pay off one day.
Trudy's a great kid, very, very skilled. She's a team player. She's always pushing everybody, and to that effect, she leads this team.
When you've got 25 freshmen like we do, it takes a little time for them to grow together and to figure out exactly what you have. So they've evolved, and they're coming together and kind of peaking at the right time. But you can tell you've got some pieces, but it's taken a while, and they're finally starting to put everything together and knock the ball around and communicate and move off the ball. Some really nice things. So it'll be exciting over the next few days to see if they continue to develop.
The next match was the Space Coast Eastern Florida State College Titans versus the Hawks of Southern Maryland. The host Titans came to this game knowing it was a must-win to stay alive. Both teams played a physical first half, but neither team had many scoring chances and would take the tie into halftime. With 38:36 to play, Southern Maryland's defense misplayed a pass that went directly to sophomore Amanda Lodge, who took advantage for the Titans. Watch this as Amanda Lodge very carefully chips the keeper for a beautiful goal.
I think it was either a deflection or someone played it back, and Jamie was going for it, and I told her just leave it, because I saw the goal and I touched it. And I just saw it going in. I'm pretty sure I blacked out. I don't even know what happened. It was really exciting.
And that's how the game would end, as the Titans winning it 1-0 on a tough physical match. And the Titans would survive one more day, much to the joy of the home fans.
Yeah, every single player out there put their absolute heart in, and we asked every player before the game, we said to them, all we ask for is 90 minutes of hard work, so we don't go to penalties, like 90 minutes, hard work, put your bodies on the line, put your heart into the game, and we'll get the result. And every person did that. Injured or not, every single person did that.
We need help from Southern Maryland now, and I don't know exactly what the goal, how many goals we need them to get, but I'll figure that out by tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, if the sophomores, that was their last game, they left on a winning note, but they battled tonight, and that's tough playing 2 hard games back to back without a rest. And you know, we started cramping up at the end, but overall, you know, what can you say? We just left it on the field tonight. So
the next key matchup as far as the host Titans were concerned was the Southern Maryland team versus Navarro. The Titans would now be rooting for the team they had just defeated to beat Navarro College and force a 3-team tiebreaker. Southern Maryland played the 3-seed tight all game, and it looked like we would be going into penalty kicks. But Navarro's Trudy Carter would score her second game winner of the tournament with only 3 minutes and 7 seconds left in regulation to advance the Bulldogs to the semi-finals. Pool D featured Owens Community College, the Butler Community College, and Darton State. The first match of Pool D play was Darton State versus Owens Community College, and it was a dandy. There will be no scoring until 5 minutes into the second half, when Darton midfielder Brianna Lemeries would capitalize on a breakaway goal. The teams battled hard throughout the second half, but at the 13-12 mark, Owens sophomore Jessica Grindle beat Darton goalie Hong Tran to tie it at 1. That's how regulation would end. Tied at the end of the game, the teams traded penalty kicks successfully through 5 rounds. After Darton freshman and Melbourne, Florida native Janay Campbell scored, freshman goaltender Hong Tran would save the game for the Cavaliers.
Oh my gosh, that was like one of the hardest games we've ever played. Oh my gosh, that team was really good. But we managed to come out on top, so.
You know, PKs is kind of that bittersweet, I guess, we won thing. I don't think anybody enjoys it, and so I wish we could keep playing and figure out who really could win this game. But it turned out 2 points for us, and so we just got to sit back and prepare for the next one.
Next up was the Owens Community College versus Butler Community College. The Owens Express would continue their flair for the dramatic. It wasn't until late in the first half when Jessica Grindle scored the first goal of the game, her second of the tournament. Watch here as Grindle rises above the defense to hammer the ball home into the back of the net. So we go to the second half at 1-0. Butler would even it about 7 minutes into the half when freshman Brittney Lawrence would score on a deflection. Regulation would end tied at 1, and for the second straight game, Owens' fate would be decided on penalty kicks. Kendlin Christian, Jill Burkholder, and Haley Krieger were successful in the shootout for the Express, while Jessica Grindle was denied by Butler goalkeeper Kelsey Langley. Morgan Foster, Madison Decker, and Paige Thompson were successful for Butler, with Brittney Decker being denied by Owens goalkeeper Erica Brinkman. Then freshman Corey Rainey hit the crossbar, opening the door for sophomore Elizabeth Thieker.
walking up there, it wasn't like anything as different as it was yesterday. Just kind of did the same thing except for the shot, because I knew that they watched us take these PKs yesterday, so I just knew she jumped left, I kicked right. Well, my left.
I think these girls would have been destroyed for the rest of their lives if they would have lost another PK shootout shooting as fine as they did. Having all 5 shooters in the beginning hit that and still losing was pretty tough. Today they really came through, and I'm so proud of them.
The next matchup in Pool D was Butler Community College versus Darton State College. Less than 10 minutes into regulation, in a downpour, Butler's Madison Decker scored unassisted. But only 30 seconds later, Darton State's Chevelle Lopez would tie the game, and it looked like a potential scorefest was in store. However, neither team could then get much going, and regulation would end tied at 1. Once again, penalty kicks would decide the outcome. Butler would prevail 4-3, and since each team in Pool D won a game with PKs, there would be a 3-team tiebreaker, which would consist of 2 10-minute sudden death overtime matches. The first would pit Darton and Owens, with the winner playing the same format against Butler to decide Pool D's winner. The game was tied after 2 sudden death overtimes of 10 minutes, but Darton won 3-1 on a deciding kick by Shanice Bowen. That would put Darton State against Butler Community College, and in the first of 2 sudden death overtimes, Brittney Lawrence turned the defender very well, held her composure, and drilled the ball into the back of the net, putting the Butler Grizzlies into the semi-final against Navarro.
You know, Brittney took the instructions that we tried to give her throughout the week, throughout the season, and made a great turn. I mean, the finish was good, but the turn to get away from the defender was next level, and put the game away nice and early, which we were hoping for. We didn't want to go to penalties again, and as I'm sure Darton didn't either.
So your coach said that the turn on that ball was next level, and then talk about that.
Well, what was going through my head, I don't even know what was going through my head. I just know that we had to score. So I tried my best. And then I knew that there was just one defender on my back. So as soon as I got away, I knew I had to put it in the corner. So I did that. That's what I've been trying to do this whole tournament. And I finally got on the ground in the left corner, so I was happy about that.
Were you guys nervous coming in?
No. We know we had to get the job done, and we did anything we could to do it.
And now, going to the semifinals, talk a little bit about how special that is.
It's very special because we're here to do it for the sophomores, and our team's mostly freshmen, and this is our first time here, so actually getting it this far is a big, big thing for us.
So our first semi-final game will be Iowa Western Reavers versus the Laramie County Golden Eagles. Both teams played like finalists. Both goalkeepers did outstanding jobs. With neither team scoring, we go into overtime. 2 10-minute sudden death overtimes wouldn't be enough, as it has been all week. You guessed it, PKs. Laramie missed on their second PK, and with Iowa Western holding a 4-3 edge, it was up to Taylor Huckley to keep Laramie alive.
Yeah, we're going to the finals. I'm so excited right now. I have no emotions to express. It's unbelievable. It's all in visualizing. I sit when I go over there. All I do is visualize me saving another one, and that's what I do. And each time I have penalty kicks, that's all I do. And determined.
Kaylin has proven herself time and time again. You know, when we train and work on the penalties, that she's the better. She's the better of the 3. So we went with her, and it paid off, man.
So it's mental. You just gotta go warm up and know that you're doing enough warm ups to put yourself in the goal and save 2, I guess.
What a better way to come here and rectify last year. I mean, to come in and pretty much the exact same scenario is staged, and we come out on top. I mean, that's not the way we drew it up in pregame. Don't get me wrong, but you know, we were prepared from top to bottom. Wherever this game would end, we wanted to have the girls geared up and ready to go. So the girls are very excited, absolutely excited. You know, we've had a theme throughout the entire postseason of believe, and that's what kept ringing through my ears, and that's what kept coming out of the girls' mouths. And they did, and they persevered, and it paid off, and we got a championship game to get ready for.
So on to our second semifinal game, Butler versus Navarro. Again, two good defenses, and once again, the semifinal will not be decided in regulation. 0-0 was the final after 90 minutes of play. You had the feeling once again like we'd be going to the penalty kicks. But 7 minutes into the first 10-minute overtime, Navarro's Nailani Garcia scored to propel the Bulldogs into the championship game.
I kind of freaked out a little bit, and I was like, I have to get this, come on. So I just took a deep breath, and I just placed it back corner. The goalie couldn't get it, so it was perfect. Thank God.
I mean, what can you say? It was one of our kids who struggled through the year. She's actually playing on a couple fractured feet, and she came through with a great goal.
She just said, I looked over at Coach, and he was just like, give it all you got. Just give it all you got. Find it in you just to fight through it and just go. Just another 10 minutes. And so right at the end, I saw the shot, and I just took it and I made it.
Well, I mean, I thought, and from what we were seeing on this side, was we thought we controlled the game. I mean, if you look at statistics, we outshot them 16 to 8, I think, or 17 to 8, including the final. So I kind of felt like we controlled the game. So I thought it was just a matter of time before one went in the back of the net. Their goalkeeper played absolutely tremendous. She made some saves that I was thinking there's no way she's going to get to the ball. And, you know, the girls just dug in and really just pressed hard on that last series, you know, and just kept fighting until they got it. I think they were tired of playing. So they really just kind of wanted to get the game over. So, you know, it was a well-played match by both teams.
When we return, it's time for the big one. It's time for the 2013 NJCAA Women's Soccer National Championship Game.
At Brevard Community College, we're evolving, expanding, and proudly becoming Eastern Florida State College. To take hold of the possibilities of the future, we are building on the excellence of the past, and the best is yet to come. Look to the future. Look with excitement. Look to the east. Eastern Florida. Explore, achieve, succeed.
It was an exciting week of tournament soccer as the country's top 12 teams were whittled down to 2. Now Iowa Western Community College will battle it out with Navarro College to see who will be the nation's best at the 2013 NJCAA Women's Women's Soccer National Tournament. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Eastern Florida State College here in Melbourne, Florida. We're moments away from the national championship game as 12 teams have been dwindled to 2, Navarro College and Iowa Western. J.C. Miles joined by Giles Malone, who was an assistant coach on both the Florida Tech's men's soccer's national championship teams in 88 and 91. And Giles, this should be a great one tonight.
Oh, it's a beautiful night, J.C. I can't wait for this action. Two teams are ready to play and ready to roll.
All right, they're the starting lineups for Iowa Western. I'll tell you, outstanding ball club, and they've got some good players.
Indeed they do. Of course, Brianna Richards up front there, number 20 with 24 goals. And keying for the Bulldogs, of course, Trudy Carter. She's a real dynamo up
and
front.
There's Brad Silvey.
Exactly. Yeah, we got some really talented players here, some of the best in the country. And I think these girls are ready to give us a great game.
Again, that's Navarro College. Trudy Carter, their big goal scorer, 22 goals.
Yeah, the lady is from Kingston, Jamaica. She's a leader on the team. The coach really feels as though she's a key player for him, obviously. She really drives the players, and everyone looks to her to make it happen up front.
And Debbie Bonner, the head coach.
Indeed. We got a husband and wife team here. Very interesting, with Debbie, the head coach, and Eric Bonner being the assistant.
And there are referees and other officials. Sam Bilbo is going to be the one running around the field. He'll get a good workout. So again, in red, Navarro, number 3 seed, Corsicana, Texas. Iowa Western, the Reavers, Council Bluffs, Iowa, in the white with the gray stripes going across the back of the uniforms. The crowd is alive. A lot of fans in the stands from Iowa and Texas. And here we go with the national championship game. Ball goes far side of the field. It's in the Iowa Western end of the field. And Iowa Western trying to control, goes out of bounds.
Hey, if they're just going to stay there and dribble, get it from them.
Throwing it in is Katie Call. Does so to Flores. And far side of the field, that's Anderson. So all Iowa Western as far as the possessions, and they're going to surrender the ball to Navarro College.
Of course, Navarro, JC, is from Corsicana. What's that, 1 hour south of Dallas?
1 hour south of Dallas, 3 hours north of Houston. So smack pretty much in the middle of the state.
Yeah, it's got some great fans all the way down from there.
Good representation by the fans from these respective cities. And this one's going to go out of bounds.
Now that lady there, JC, of course, the young lady from Spain, Celia Jimenez, number 20, who just knocked out of bounds for the Reavers. She's quite a player. She's very quick, very aggressive, and she's a key one for the Reavers tonight.
20 goals in the year, second to Brianna Richards, who has 24. So those two scored 44 of the 131 goals this year. Pretty good production.
Yeah, the Bulldogs will be looking to make sure they keep those two very quiet tonight.
And we got our first foul of the match. It goes against Navarro. So this will be a kick about the 18-yard area. And that's number 6, Kiana Christensen, who just celebrated her 19th birthday yesterday. Did it in style as her team made it to this championship game.
I'll tell you, JC, I was so impressed with the goalkeeping last night in both semifinals. The goalkeepers were outstanding and really key to giving us, taking us all the way to the end of each match. One was in, of course, overtime, and the other one was PKs, but really great keeping.
Yeah, Kelsey East for Iowa Western and Kenya Medina for Navarro.
And interestingly, as you talked about earlier, JC, with Iowa, they took on PKs, they took their the regular keeper out, Kelsey East, and they substituted Kaylin Caslin in. And of course, she showed us why, because she was really great under PK pressure.
So Navarro trying to get something going here. Foster plays it back on defense. That's fast, who I thought played very well yesterday. She kind of anchors that back line for the Bulldogs. Ball played up the side of the 18-yard box, deflected, and this will go out of bounds. It'll be a Bulldog throw-in. So again, the Bulldogs in red and Iowa Western in white. Just underway, national championship game for women's soccer, NJCAA. Beautiful night here in Melbourne, Florida. Again, this will be the site for the national championships for the next 3 years.
Yeah, we're delighted to have that here in Brevard County, and Eastern Florida State College has stepped up with a fantastic facility here, JC. It's world class.
Ball thrown in by Evans, but intercepted by Iowa Western. But here comes Bast. Bast has deceptive speed, but loses it to Gallants. Up ahead, this is Jimenez. And it goes out of bounds. It'll be an Iowa Western throw-in.
Don't stop, White. Don't stop.
So a throw-in here, and taken by Navarro, by Foster. Played up to midfield, Thiriot heads at about 10 yards up. Now back in the Navarro end.
That young lady Riggs, too, she was exceptional last night for Navarro. JC Lexi Riggs, the sophomore defender from Fort Worth.
Yeah, Riggs and Bass really do a good job of that back line. And, you know, Navarro is not a team that scores a lot of goals. They're primarily a defensive-oriented team. They try and charge it up, and deflected by Gallants. So regrouping are the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs edging Butler 1-0. 2:48 mark of the first overtime. It was Nailiana Garcia who scored, and Garcia, for her, was only her second goal of the year. So unexpected production there, but truly the coach, Bonner, love to see that.
Nicely taken, just offside.
And an offsides play. So I think both teams kind of filling each other up.
Yeah. You know, they'll obviously the Reavers are looking to get that ball to Jimenez down this left side, number 2 there, and Bast is keeping a very close eye. Of course, you got the Spain versus Germany there, JC. You got the Spaniard number 2 versus 30, Bast the German.
But that'd be a great World Cup matchup, Spain and Germany, 2 of the heavyweights.
Exactly.
Here come the Reavers. Ball played up ahead, looking for Jimenez, didn't quite get to her. And Bass chips it to the near side to Nigro.
Yeah, Navarro really knocks the ball around nicely. They're really very composed on the ball.
And here come the Reavers. Cassandra Anderson. And comes back on defense. Let's see if they play it back to East. Now they're just going to keep it in the middle of the field. This is Hansen being given a lot of open space. So again, Iowa Western, a team that scores a lot of goals. Navarro, not really as many. So if you're Navarro, you want to keep this a low-scoring game. In Iowa Western, they beat Lake County in that first matchup of this tournament 5-0. So more of the explosive goal scorers. And really for Navarro, 18 Trudy Carter, really the only one that scores goals on a regular basis.
Yeah, she's key for them tonight. They'll be looking to get her some ball here over the top.
Nigro pass goes too far, and Kelsey East, once again in that baby blue UCLA outfit, she punts it to midfield. Comes back into the Navarro end. Pass goes to Foster.
Yeah, Shanice Foster is also very key for the Navarro Bulldogs there in the middle of the park, middle of midfield. She tends to run things for the Bulldogs there.
And the Reavers throw it in. Again, out of Council Bluffs, Iowa, right on the border with Nebraska. Omaha, Nebraska is right over the border. So good nightlife there, and nice part of the country. Probably a little cold right now, so everybody's happy to be here in Florida at the National Championships.
Good tackle there by the midfielder for Reavers.
Ball out of bounds, throw in for the Bulldogs. And intercepted by the Reavers, trying to run it up. Collision there, and goes out of bounds. No foul called. So throw in for the Reavers. Again, Brad Silvey, their head coach, 5th year. And Iowa Western, a regular participant in these national championships, as is Navarro. Although for Navarro, it's their first trip here since 2008. Ball chipped toward the box. Bass going up for the header. It's loose shot. It's Jimenez. Jimenez scores, and it's 1-0 Iowa Western.
Well, that was a opportunistic goal there by Jimenez. She bided her time. She waited for the defense to not clear it properly. She got in there quickly, and she just jumped on that ball and smacked it home first time. Great goal by Jimenez.
So for Jimenez, her first goal of the tournament, and here comes the replay. Her 21st goal of the year.
Yeah, JC, I mean, that was a typical striker's goal there. She's a real goal scorer, that kid. She waited her time nicely, waited for that ball just to bounce nicely for her there, and the keeper could really do not much about that. Got a hand to it, but it was well hit.
So kind of a sideways kick there, and it just found the right corner. So 1-0 Iowa Western. And again, Navarro does not want to get in a shootout with this team. Iowa Western actually #1 in the country in most shots on the average per game. And, you know, Navarro only averages about 8 shots per game.
Yeah, that's going to really open this game up now, JC, because Navarro's going to be chasing it.
Ball played up over midfield. Back deep into the Bulldogs' end. Back forward is Nutley. Intercepted by the Reavers. Sent toward the top of the 18-yard box, looking for Jimenez again. Didn't quite get to her, but it does come to Gowans. Gowans had a big goal in the last match. In fact, you know what? It was the Monroe match. 5:13 remaining, scored the only goal, and it was a 1-0 win over the Monroe team from New York.
Yeah, the Reavers are now getting pretty confident on that ball, taking their time, working it around, but you can't count out this team here from Navarro. She's got a lot of speed, this gal.
Okay, here come the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Reavers there did very well. It sort of broke out to Trudy Carter for a moment there. She had a chance to break away, but those blue and white striped shirts there, they collapsed on her real quick.
There's a header to midfield, and it comes to Anderson for Iowa Western. But regained stolen by Foster. Foster pass comes back to midfield. So Navarro having trouble really maintaining possession for any length of time.
Iowa Western goal scored by #2, Thalia Jimenez. Assisted by #7, Cassandra Anderson.
All right, so officially Jimenez with the goal, and they did give an assist to Anderson. That's her 14th assist on the year, and she actually ties Juliana Oliveira for first in the club in that category. They each have 14. So one of the leading assist people, able to hook up with the second leading goal scorer. So
Navarro's substitution is #24. Correction, #14, Joanna Nigro.
Well, now, JC, the coach from Navarro, the Bonner duo there, the coaches will be wanting to make their team patient, not panic.
There's a cross for East, yeah.
Long way to go in this one, so they just don't want to give up a second early in this match. So they'll be looking to sort of solidify the game and carefully work their way back into it without giving up a second.
There's a punt by East to midfield. And it comes back into the Navarro end. And one thing about Iowa Western, they're not going to adopt the Monroe philosophy of dropping back on defense and packing it in. I mean, they're going to go for some more goals. You know, if Navarro was up 1-0, maybe they would try that strategy because, again, they just don't score a lot. They're a very good defensive team, though. Ball played up ahead and too far. It's going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, Trudy Carter was looking for some decent service there. Didn't come for her.
We've got 33-13 to go in the first half, so we're almost 12 minutes in. Again, 1-0 for Iowa Western. This one goes over the goal line. And this is going to be a corner kick. This will be our first one of the match as we have a couple of substitutions coming in. So corner kick being set up.
Now then, yeah, the big guns are coming up for the Bulldogs here. You've got Bass 30 coming up, #25, Morgan Nutley, looking to cash in on this corner.
So in the 18-yard box, headed out, though, by Jimenez.
Navarro substitutes are number 11, Caroline Spurrier, and number 22, Tiffany Robinson.
And we got a foul. This will go against Iowa Western, so Navarro will keep it on Iowa Western's end of the field. So three-person wall being formed by the Reavers.
Yeah, it's a long way out, JC. That's all of 32 yards or so, 33 yards. But that's within range for these girls. Bass looks like she's lining up to take a strike here.
So Bass with the kick. Through the wall and wide of the net. So East got a good look at that one and just allowed it to go wide. Let me ask you, is it usually 3- and 4-person walls? I mean, what determines how many people on a wall?
Sure. I mean, the keeper determines it usually. From that distance there, you know, they're not sure whether they're going to be chipping that into the box. They want to keep enough players back to, you know, react to any clever play where they chip it into the box for someone else. But you want to have enough to obviously block a decent part of the goal for the keeper. So usually closer into the goal, obviously you see more players in the wall. So that was long range. Here's Jimenez.
So Jimenez, who scored the goal earlier, taps it back to Gowans. And Navarro trying to gain control. About 25 yards out from net. They send up to midfield and goes back at the Reavers end of the field. Comes near side, but it's going to go out. Deflected out by Navarro. Throw in for Katie Call. Call from Preston, Idaho. Back in the Iowa Western end. Flores goes to the far side. Intercepted by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it was Riggs there. She's doing some more good work.
And ball out of bounds, and Navarro will throw it in. We got 30-30 remaining in the first half. 1-0 Iowa Western. And we got a injury player, but nice. She's getting up. She's okay.
Yeah, referee Sam Bilbao tonight is the man in the middle.
He needs to see everything, right?
Well,
he's got his flag people to help him out, but he's a chief
guy. That's right,
guy
JC. The mark of a great referee is one you never really notice in a match.
Yes.
You know, he just sort of disappears. That's the game flows.
Here's a high ball. This one's going to go over the goal line. And this will be a goal kick for Kelsey East. Again, East, 3 shutouts on the year, 0.61 goals against average, and she's allowed only 8 goals this year. So tough to be scored upon.
Well, I'll tell you, got to give credit, you know, to the coaches there, Brad Silvey. I mean, it takes a lot of guts as a coach to take your main goalkeeper out for PKs and put in a different one. And, of course, it paid off for Brad and the team. That was a miraculous night by Kaylin Caslin.
Ball sent back into the Navarro end. And this one deflected out of bounds. And, again, that'll be an interesting thing. Should this go to penalty kicks about the switching of the goalkeepers for Iowa Western? I mean, East played a great match, but Caslon went in, and that's kind of her specialty.
Exactly, JC, and you'll probably see that again if it goes to PKs, but this is a long way to go, and Navarro's got some work to do.
We have 28:55 remaining in the first half. This is Jimenez, drops it back to Anderson. Back to Jimenez, just being very deliberate with the ball.
Yeah, they're giving her a lot of time on the ball. They're sort of backing off a little bit. And that could spell trouble for Navarro if they give her any more space.
It's almost like they're in a little bit of slow motion here. Here's Jimenez.
Nice and tight on that play.
Jimenez trying to break the double team, and it goes off in Navarro. Good effort there by Torres defensively for the Bulldogs. It'll be a throw-in for Katie Call. Call throws in, settling the ball is Flores. Over to Gowans. There's a shot by Anderson. It's going to go well wide, and this will be a goal kick for Kenya Medina.
Yeah, Nicole Gowans, a freshman midfielder from Orrin, Utah. She's really a key player for them. She gets a lot of touches on the ball. She's really spraying the ball left and right for her teammates. They look to her to link things up in midfield.
And we got a sub coming in. Ball sent to midfield. Again, Medina, 0.72 goals against average for her and 7 shutouts. So 2 very stingy goalkeepers. Goals I think are going to be at a premium.
Navarro substitute is number 4, Amanda Olson.
Ball sent deep into the Navarro end, and once again, it's Jimenez being double teamed.
Clever ball. It's out, though.
So out of bounds, and it'll be Navarro possession. 27-14 to go in the first half. So pretty quickly moving first half. Haven't had any player stoppages yet.
Yeah, and not many crosses into the box of the Reavers. Navarro will be looking to get more action down there. It's mostly been up on this side of the field, hasn't it, JC?
Yeah, here comes another Navarro sub.
Navarro substitute is number 14, Joanna Nigro, for number 22, Tiffany Robinson.
By the way, according to Mark Dakotas, 35 subs the other night for Navarro. They freely sub at will. It's always nice to have that depth.
Yeah, that's impressive. They certainly use a lot of players there and paid off for them last night.
Ball stolen by the Bulldogs. They work it up the field, trying to connect with Olsen. And here comes Iowa Western. And there's a foul as going down was Owens.
Yeah, Navarro is really struggling. Reavers is getting more players in midfield, kind of controlling play. Navarro having a hard time putting much together so far.
Again, we're blessed with beautiful Florida weather tonight. I'll tell you, we had a tremendous rainstorm out here on Wednesday. It rained continuously for about 6.5, 7 hours. So we're very lucky that Mother Nature has blessed us with a beautiful night for this national championship game.
You wouldn't know it, though. Look at the field. It's perfect.
Oh, I know. This field drains very well. Evidently 2 miles worth of drainage. That helps. The Bermuda grass, never a bad thing.
Yeah, that underground drainage system's not cheap. That's a wonderful investment by the college.
Definitely. Beautiful facility. Here's Gowans trying to make a move, and it goes out of bounds. Well, again, we were at Melbourne Central Catholic the last couple of years. They built this field, and they broke ground about a year ago, got it ready, and here we are. They got a practice field right behind us. So this Eastern Florida State College just continues to grow.
Yeah, Coach Carr there, the AD, was looking to bring the high school championships here next couple of years.
That'd be nice. Here's Navarro making a run. With it is Olsen. Olsen will go back to midfield. That's Riggs going for Foster. Now Bass trying to move it up. She's a very physical player and deceptively fast. Stolen by the Reavers.
Clever play by Jimenez there, tracking back Bast and doing very well. Spain winning against Germany that time.
Oh, okay. To be continued. Here's
Yes,
Paul sending it up, and with it is Ashley.
Clever ball there to the fullback, the 14.
This is Nigro. And now Foster looking for Nigro, but she can't keep it in. I don't think they were communicating well on that one. A little out of sync, and we got some more substitutions, one for each team.
Yep, got to hand it to the Reavers. They're pushing up very nicely. They're condensing the space in midfield. You've got the 14 there for the Reavers, the 4. You know, they're all squeezing the team up, making the space much smaller for Navarro to try to get anything going in midfield.
We have exactly 24 minutes remaining in the first half. Again, 1-0. Iowa Western on the goal by Jimenez, her first one of the tournament and her 21st of the year.
Navarro's substitute is number 10, Courtney Mounts, and for Iowa Western, number 11, Thais Souza.
And ball goes out of bounds. Reavers with a throw-in.
You sort of got the sense last night, JC. Well, here's a dangerous ball into the box.
And comes out, shot, and this one goes over the net. That was by Anderson.
Yeah, you sort of got the feeling last night Navarro wanted to keep the tempo nice and high and use all those players and sort of outlast the other team with a lot of running. But they seem to be more laid back tonight. They're sitting back and being more patient.
And taking the kick for Navarro is 25, Morgan Nutley. She is out of Arlington, Texas, which, of course, is a suburb of Dallas. And Corsicana about an hour south of Dallas. So ball goes out of bounds. Really right in the middle of the state again. I mean, 3 hours north of Houston, an hour south of Dallas. So a lot of good soccer in that area. And again, Navarro, they had to get through Tyler to come here to Florida. They have not been here in 5 years, and a lot of the reason was Tyler has had a nice run as a school that's only about 5 or 6 years old. So they had to get through a tough bracket to get here.
Indeed, that's a hotbed of soccer there with the Dallas Cup, of course, in Dallas. That one of the largest youth tournaments in the world. I think over 500 teams playing that every year. It's a great tradition.
over a 10-year period, they've been here 6 times in 10 years, but the first time since '08. And it comes to East to goal. A lot of traffic in front of East. Very calmly picks it up.
Yeah, that was an opportunity there for Navarro. Couldn't get on the end of it.
And the punt by East to midfield. Jimenez trying to settle it. Sends it far side. And nice work by the back line of the Bulldogs. They send it back up to midfield. About 30 yards out from net. Very technical passing here by the Reavers. They send it toward the 18-yard box. They were looking to hook up with Richards. Comes back out. Loose ball. Shot. Oh, it hit the post. Another shot. And it's a goal. It's Brianne Richards. So Richards scores her 25th of the year. So it's been the 2 leading goal scorers getting Iowa Western on the board. They lead it 2-0. We have 21:32 remaining in the half. And here comes the replay, Niles.
Poaching there by... It was. She saw the opportunity and didn't lose track of the ball there and really followed up very well.
So 21-32, just a little bit more than midway through this first half, and Iowa Western now up 2-0. And
well, JC, that cross, you see those crosses coming into the box always cause trouble for defenses, and that ball came in. There was a bit of a mistake there by a defender, went the wrong way. And that player just pounced on it there. Goalkeeper did very well to come out and narrow the angle, hit the post. It came right back to her, and she followed it in very nicely indeed against 3 defenders.
Oh, just like in basketball, you should always follow your shot in soccer as well. And Richards, the first shot hit the post, then she just followed it right in. And she had a couple of defenders on her, but very calmly just poked it in.
Yeah, those defenders will be disappointed they couldn't get onto that one. There was 3 of them against one of the Reavers, but Reavers scored 2-0.
Well, now for Navarro, you really got to try and start getting aggressive and figure out how to move it up the field. I mean, they really haven't had too many chances against East so far.
Iowa Western goal scored unassisted by number 20, Brianne Richards.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Navarro now shows caution to the wind a bit and brings Bast up into midfield. They've got to do something about this control of midfield. The Reavers are really dominating that space.
So 20-30 remaining in the first half. As this one comes back to the Reavers to call. Again, her first name is Katie. Had it deflected, still keeping it. Left side, Jimenez. Back to call. Surveys the situation, goes middle of the field. And with it is Flores. Ball goes right side. So the Reavers really in control of this match. Navarro having a tough time getting it out of their own end, and really, once they get into Iowa Western's end, just sustaining any sort of attack. Here's a shot toward the net, deflected, and the Bulldogs should be able to clear, and they do, but not even up to midfield. And this one will go out of bounds. It was deflected out by Flores, so throw in for the Navarro Bulldogs, and we have another substitution, this time for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, down that right side is what's causing the trouble for Navarro. The Reavers are attacking nicely down that right side. 3 crosses coming in over there, and 2 goals so far from those crosses.
So here come the Bulldogs. And calling for the ball was Garcia, who was the hero yesterday, scoring the only goal in the win over Butler, but they didn't see her. And now taken by Jimenez. Play back just shy of midfield.
Now look, JC, at the defense of Navarro. Look how deep they are. There's 5 of them there, all almost pushed back to their penalty area. They'll be looking to push up and try to condense the space in the midfield, but they are sitting back quite a bit, making it easier for the Reavers to control that midfield.
Well, again, Monroe and Southern Maryland just kind of packed it back defensively and really didn't get much of a push up front. And, you know, with Navarro down by 2 goals, they're going to have to get aggressive once they get it over midfield. Now the Bulldogs just trying to clear it out of their own end. And they still have it, so good possession here.
Yep, here's Carter now with an opportunity.
And it comes up to Olsen, who falls down, nothing called. And back to the Reavers on defense. This is call. 18:20 to go in the first half. A 2-0 lead for Iowa Western.
Yeah, the coaching staff there of Navarro with the Bonner staff will be looking to try to get the defense to be more confident, push up more, because they are sitting back, making that field much bigger there. That's why the Reivers have so much time in midfield.
And 2 more subs for Navarro. Again, they had about 35 the other night, so they're well on pace to maybe eclipse that. Again, 3rd place finish for Iowa Western last year.
Navarro substitutes are number 2, Valerie Delgado, and number 19, Chelsea Blacklock.
In back-to-back years, 2006, 2007, Iowa Western were the national runner-up, so they made it to the championship and lost. They're trying to avoid that tonight. Ball out of bounds. So 2 second-place finishes, a 3rd-place finish, and a 5th-place finish going back to 2006. So Brad Silvey done a tremendous job with this program. And then Coach Bonner, Debbie Bonner from Navarro. Again, 6 trips in 10 years in the national tournament. So no national titles for either team, but both teams have come close at times.
Yep, having coached in college for 14 years, you know, these coaches are exceptional, I must say. They're very well organized teams. All the games we've seen this week, the coaching staff is doing a very good job.
Ball sent up, and it goes out of bounds, and we'll have another substitution. I'm going to make a point here in a minute when we get a chance. Got 16:43 remaining in the first half. Again, a 2-0 lead for Iowa Western. Well, the point I want to make, Giles, is, and we can expand on this when we maybe on the next ball out of bounds, the challenges of coaching in junior college compared to a 4-year college. As the ball is stolen by Jimenez. Here's Bast trying to get control of it, does so, and this is Foster. Foster looking to break out. Sends it up ahead, knocked back by the Reivers, and here they come again. Here's a pass to Gowans. Gowans in a triangle of red, and stolen by Olsen. Olsen pass to Foster.
Yeah, Lexi Riggs there looking to join up, trying to make something happen for Navarro. She's really going for it.
And there's
does
a loose
well.
ball. Here's a shot, but it's deflected. So that could have been a good chance for Navarro, but good back line help by the Reivers. Well, I'll tell you, this crowd in front of us going crazy. It's primarily the Iowa Western crowd from Council Bluffs. Glad to get out of the cold and get her to Florida, and really supporting this team.
Yeah, Lexi Riggs, their defender, moving all the way up. She's been the one to seems to want to step up now, make something happen for Navarro. It was a great run by her. She pushed it through to Carter, and but great defense there by the Reivers.
Yeah. Here's a replay, Giles. Nice play.
Yeah, sure. The as I say, Lexi Riggs there made it happen. She's a great little player, and she's looking for this one here to do something. Is Carter?
Trudy Carter shot, and it's right on to Kelsey East, who makes the save. Again, Carter, 27 goals on the year. She's the one that she probably feels right now she has to carry the team on her back and try and get at least one here before halftime. And we have 14:40 to go in the first half. Again, a 2-0 lead for Iowa Western.
Yeah, well, that's better by Navarro. Last couple of minutes, they've stepped it up here, had a couple of good chances.
And the Bulldogs are going to send in another substitution in a few minutes. So again, shuffling the deck, Debbie Bonner in her 12th year as head coach of the Bulldogs. And again, interestingly enough, her husband, Eric, is her assistant coach, a husband and wife team. Except the wife is in charge of the soccer team, not the other way around.
I think they must be talking quite a lot of soccer in that household.
I would think so, yeah, around the dinner table. Here's Flores. We got exactly 14 minutes remaining in the first half. Here's a long ball sent top of the 18-yard box. Looking for Jimenez, triple teamed. Comes back out to Gowans, and Gowans shot well wide. And this will be a goal kick for Kenya Medina with 13:45 remaining. And here comes some more subs, changing on the fly, both teams. Yeah, Giles, the question I do want to ask you is the challenges of coaching in junior college when you only have the players for 2 years. I mean, you constantly have to reload.
Absolutely.
You really got to get alive in the recruiting trail and keep your pipeline open.
Yeah, you can see that's why these teams are so deep. They've got lots of players to choose from, and there's great tradition on Iowa. Obviously, their recruiting is a bit easier because they've been here many times, and these players are looking to come to the best programs. So
Navarro substitute is number 27, Natalia Torres, and for Iowa Western, number 12, Audrey Palmer, and number 18, Katie Call.
Yeah, of course, Eastern Florida.
Here's a shot, and East, well, she didn't make the save, but she deflected it wide, and it will be a corner kick. I think this will be the first one for Navarro, or maybe their second one.
Yeah, it was a great strike there. I think that was Shanice Foster with the left foot there, and the goalkeeper had a little trouble picking it up, looks like, and she, in the end, decided, I think, just to kind of parry it away for a corner.
Again, Navarro is just 53rd in the country, 8.8 shots per game, so they really need to capitalize on their opportunities, particularly corner kicks. This is punched out nicely by East and played up the field.
Yeah, keeper did well there to come out and clear that one.
So sometimes you punch it forward, sometimes you punch it up.
Yeah, they try to keep the momentum going, obviously, away from the goal anywhere they can, is Riggs.
And we're going to get a replay here, Giles. There's a shot.
Yeah, the keeper picked it up a bit low. Wasn't sure what to do with that one, so in the end, she did her job and kept it out.
And ball goes out of bounds. Again, East is only a freshman from Ogden, Utah, so one more year with her. Looks like she could be moving up to Division I in a couple of years, as will a lot of these players. I mean, it's great learning for them to get to Division I.
Indeed, there's been a lot of college coaches here this week from NCAA. I think over 50, I was told, by Rusty Buchanan. Looking to recruit these great players.
Ball stolen by the Bulldogs. Pass a little bit too far for Souza and played back to midfield. 11:22 to go in the first half. Again, Iowa Western, 2 quick goals in this one, leading it 2-0. Here come the Reavers again. That's a pass to Palmer, who's checked in. Little tap pass, goes left side, and the Bulldogs will let it go out. So throw in for the Bulldogs. Here's Foster. Clears it up the field, and nobody there, and this one's going to skip out of bounds. So the Reavers with a throw in. And again, for Iowa Western, a painful loss last year to Paradise Valley in penalty kicks in the semifinals. So they came so close last year, and this year, making it to the championship, and Paradise Valley was knocked out, the number 2 seed.
Yeah, you really hate to see games like at this level going to PKs. It's very tough on the players, when you lose on PKs, because you often feel that you should have got it done in regulation. So it's a tough way to lose on PKs, that's for sure.
It really is. In fact, we've had 5 PK games out of all the games in this tournament. That's about 1/3. Bulldogs looking to clear it out. They send it up to midfield, but nobody in red is there. It's all midfielders and backliners for Iowa Western. With it is Paul. Paul to Oliveira. Under 10 minutes to go in this first half. Again, a 2-0 lead for Iowa Western. Bulldogs looking to move it up the field. Nice technical passing here. Foster trying to split a couple of midfielders. Goes out of bounds. It's off of the Reavers, so the Bulldogs will have a throw in, and we got more substitutions for Navarro.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff at Navarro will be trying to get their players a bit more pumped up to be more aggressive in the second half, to close the Reavers down more, giving them a lot of space, and especially this Jimenez on the left here. She seems to have all day sometimes to knock that ball around, and that's going to be the key for Navarro.
Ball chipped up ahead.
The Jamaican's trying to turn the defense here. She's a great little player. That's a super ball.
That's by Carter, and East comes in and with a slide makes the save.
Navarro substitute for number 8, Melina Prado, and number 13, Shelby Evans.
Yeah, it was very good goalkeeping there, JC. Another opportunity for Navarro.
So Prado and Evans into the match. That's for Navarro. 8:45 to go in the first half. And again, the Iowa Western Reavers out of Council Bluffs leading it 2-0. Here's Torres for the Bulldogs. Plays it back. Now goes to Carter. Taps it back for Foster. Foster trying to get around Oliveira, now double teamed. And a little bit too much dribbling. And now it goes out of bounds. And Iowa Western, I mean, good individual effort, but, you know, sooner or later you got to pass the ball.
Well, the Reavers are very well coached, JC. They get those players back behind the ball very quickly. And if you notice, there was 10 players back for the Reavers as Navarro was trying to get something going, but it was like an impenetrable wall there with all those white shirts back. Navarro will be looking to get something going quick on a breakaway before the Reavers can get back.
We have exactly 8 minutes to go in the first half. On that back line is Nutley.
Good pass by Riggs here. This is nice movement by Navarro.
That's Prado. Left side. A little bit of a cross, nothing really much. Comes right back. So Navarro, I mean, just working around, looking for an opening. Tough to find with this Iowa Western back line. Here's Foster. Gets off a shot, but actually deflected right there and stolen by the Reavers.
Yeah, a solid defense there by the midfield again of the Reavers, blocking those shots. But this is better from Navarro. They're moving the ball better.
Garcia with a pass down the right side. That's Torres. And intercepted by the Reavers, doing a lot of that tonight. We have exactly 7 minutes to go in the first half. 2-0 Iowa Western. Top of the 18-yard box, pass by Prado, but cleared out. Here's a shot by Bass, ground ball shot, doesn't get much. And the Reavers looking to get it out, and here's Jimenez. Pass up ahead, a little bit too far for Anderson. And Bass looking to move it up. Middle of the field, it's Torres. And the Reavers take it again. This is Hansen. Pass to Flores. Flores will get the trailer. That's Call. Call up the side. It goes out of bounds. And it's going to be a Navarro throw in, much to the chagrin of the Iowa Western crowd. We have 6 minutes to go in the first half, and we have some substitutions for Iowa Western. So throw in for the Bulldogs. Again, the Bulldogs, they would love to get one here. That would make that halftime talk a little bit more pleasant for Debbie Bonner. Ball sent up ahead, chipped ahead. Again, right now the Bulldogs really should try and send everybody, well, not everybody up, maybe everybody up but 2 players, but Iowa Western getting it out of their end.
Yeah, you see how number 26 for Navarro is very deep. Shanice Foster, she was getting forward more yesterday. She's playing very deep, and hence Trudy Carter's got not much support up front when that ball goes up.
Here's Hansen.
Nice work by Gowans, dummying that ball there.
And here come the Reavers again. Shot toward the net, 18-yard box, headed out by the Bulldogs. And now they clear it up to midfield. 4:43 remaining in the first half. Iowa Western up 2-0. Okay, J.C. Meyerholtz, Giles Malone. For the National Championships Junior College Women's Soccer in Melbourne, Florida. It's Call getting it for the Reavers over to Flores. Pass to Anderson. And chips it up ahead. It gets by one of the back defenders. Top of the 18-yard box. A shot and it's a save by Medina. And now she has to cover the ball. That shot was by Richards, who just scored the last goal, her 25th of the year.
Yeah, they've been a little fortunate at times, Reavers. It seems to be bouncing for them. When it comes out of the box there, it's bounced for them a couple of times. They've scored, so they take their opportunities well.
The good news is the Bulldogs clear the field, but again, they can't really get a rush going here. Top of the 18-yard box, looking to connect with Jimenez, but she is blanketed by a couple of red shirts. Here's Sosa. Up over the midfield line, deflects off the feet of Torres, and back to the Reavers to Hansen. Up over the midfield line, Bulldogs intercept. 3:18 to go in the first half. Good pressure here by the Reavers in the midfield area. Played up the far side. And the Reavers have it.
Nice work by Jimenez there.
Jimenez with a shot, but this is going to be well wide and go over the goal line. So Medina will have a goal kick. We've got 2:40 remaining in the first half. So 2-0 Iowa Western, looking in for their first ever national title. Runner-ups in back-to-back years, 06 and 07. And it comes back to Medina. And again, Navarro looking for their first national title.
Well, Council Bluffs, Iowa. Haven't been there. Maybe we'll go one day, JC. It's but it's nice in the summer up
Probably
there.
in the summer, yeah. In the winter, they have brutal winters there.
They've got a great soccer program, that's for sure.
Of course, through the Midwest, getting a lot of nasty snow. In fact, I watched a little Notre Dame football today, and it was snowing. So we are getting the winter pretty quick. 1:53 to go in the first half. Ball played up the field by the Reavers. Bulldogs trying to clear, and it is a major challenge. Reavers putting on pressure. We got a foul on Iowa Western. We got a Navarro player down, writhing in pain. We really haven't had too many fouls. I mean, especially for a championship match, we really haven't had too many fouls.
Yeah, it's number 30, Judy Bast. That'll worry the coaches. She's that key defender for them, a German girl. She's been rock solid. She really got shook up there.
Yeah, Bast, a sophomore out of Germany. You know, they only have 5 sophomores on this team, 23 freshmen. So this most of this club is going to be back. And as for the Reavers of Iowa Western, they only have 8 sophomores. So, I mean, both these teams are going to have a bulk of freshmen or it could be sophomores next year, and then you got the new recruits coming in.
Looks like she tweaked that knee there on the right side. The trainer there is testing those ligaments there. She's a tough girl, that Bosch. She's been very, very good player for Navarro this week.
So 1:41 to go in the first half, and as you can see, Iowa Western up 2-0. By the way, you're going to have Jeff Carr on at halftime, and again, Jeff wears 3 hats: tournament director, athletic director in Eastern Florida, and also a head coach. And still has 2 of those hats on. Unfortunately, Eastern Florida State, the home team, got knocked out a couple of games ago. But he'll talk about this tournament and how it's grown, and again, 3 more years here in Florida for the NJCAAs.
Yeah, they've made a phenomenal difference, Jeff's had here at the college, and along with Dr. Ritchie and the whole administration, they've really impressive growth here. I mean, I've lived here for 30 years, and you know, BCC was a big part of this community, but now Eastern Florida is absolutely taken off like a rocket.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Carr really lauds about Mr. Ritchie and all the support he gives. I mean, not only to soccer, but to the entire athletic program. And, of course, men's soccer is here, first year. They made it to the national tournament, Tyler, Texas, won a match, and then they lost in penalty kicks and got eliminated. So a lot of sports growing here as Bass goes out. Hopefully she'll be back. I mean, at least she'll have the halftime to figure out whether they can get her back in.
Yeah, the college has expanded their academic programs. Now they offer 4-year degrees here, so it's really attractive. My son goes to school here, and it's very affordable, excellent academics, and, of course, now look at the athletics program, extracurricular activities, really first class.
So here's a kick by Navarro. So that was about a 2 or 3 minute delay, and we come back to midfield. So we wish the best for Judith Bast. 1:33 remaining in the half, and Iowa Western, I mean, they have pretty much dominated possession-wise and territorially-wise in this first half. Reavers chipping up ahead. Bulldogs looking to clear with 1:18 remaining, and we got a foul on the Reavers, so Bulldogs possession.
Now Navarro, of course, have had a great season. They had a super win last night.
1 minute remaining in the half.
Ball chipped up ahead, and Jimenez, who has touched the ball a lot in this first half, will tap in a call. Call, though, has it intercepted. Taken by Torres, trying to control it, trying to get away from the pesky Jimenez. Ball lost, regained. And the Bulldogs trying to get one final rush here. 35 seconds to go in the first half, and we got a foul on Iowa Western, and the Bulldogs here have to hurry. They'll get a kick, from about 30 yards out. They want to make this count. Let's see if there's going to be a wall formed here, Giles.
Yeah, this will be. This is a very, very important part of the game here. If they can make something happen, it could be a game changer.
Let's see, what's that? A three-person wall. Okay, here's a shot, and it's going to go wide. Usually you want to kind of shoot it high over the wall and hope it tucks under the crossbar, but that one was wide. 5 seconds to go. Kelsey East in no hurry to punt this ball away, and that is the end of the first half with a score: Iowa Western 2 and Navarro College nothing. And we'll be right back with our halftime activities after this.
At Brevard Community College, we're evolving, expanding, and proudly becoming Eastern Florida State College. To take hold of the possibilities of the future, we are building on the excellence of the past, and the best is yet to come. Look to the future. Look with excitement. Look to the east. Eastern Florida. Explore, achieve, succeed.
My name is Tia Harris, and I'm a 2013 Citizen Scholar. Well, I started off doing it for a class project, and they offered me extra credit for it. Started off at 2 different places, here at Brevard Zoo and also at the Florida Wildlife Hospital. I decided to continue volunteering at Brevard Zoo because I love the activities they had me actually doing. I'm an interpretive kayak guide here, and I enjoy taking people out on the kayak tours to see animals from different perspectives. We go every half an hour. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes. We go around the whole entire island of Africa, and we go and check out all kinds of different animals. The reason why I've done so many hours is because I initially did not have my own kayak, and so it was something that I could actually get out each week and be able to kayak each week and still be able to do that. And then it's turned into more of like a community feeling for me. When I come here, I'm welcomed with open arms, get a lot of appreciation for being here. It's also translated now into giving that back to people. I might not think I'm doing a lot, but I'm actually touching a lot of people while I'm here. When I come back and the children know all the information I just told them 2 or 3 weeks ago, for me, that's really what keeps me coming back now.
Giraffes actually have some predators in the wild, but they have very good defenses.
I've done a lot with my time and have been able to help many people at the same time. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good that I am a part of a community that wants to teach people and have the community come together, and to be a part of that is a very special thing for me. The advice I would give to people who are thinking about service learning is to check it out. There's a huge book with all kinds of places that are available for you to go to and look at, and you can actually go to the places and talk to them a little bit more about the things that you would be doing, and to find something that you really, really enjoy. Like, I love kayaking, so that's what keeps me coming back every week. If you can find somewhere that you actually love and enjoy doing that, you will be there for a long time.
Brevard Community College is now Eastern Florida State College. We're charting a course for the future, built on the excellence of our past. Look for solutions. Look with excitement. Look to the east. Eastern Florida.
Okay, well, here we are now with Athletic Director Jeff Carr at Eastern Florida State College. Jeff, this is a beautiful night. What a great occasion for Eastern Florida State College this is.
Absolutely, Giles. We're thrilled to host this. You know, this, again, is our 3rd year to host it, and we're hosting it for the next 3 years as well. But to have it on our campus is really exciting with our new facility.
What does this mean to the college, you think, long run, in terms of growing the program and recruiting players?
Well, it's huge. I mean, just the exposure we're getting nationally and internationally. You know, this game is being televised, and, you know, the satellite feed that you can get all over the world, plus is being webcast. And I know quite a few of the games, there's well over 3,000, 4,000 people watching this. So just the exposure we're getting for the entire school, just not for the soccer program.
Yeah, what's been the keys to the growth of the college? You know, it's been incredible. I mean, I've lived here for, much of my life, and, not much happened for many years, and then recently it seems like an absolute explosion of growth. It's wonderful.
Well, I would, attribute a lot of that to Dr. Ritchie and his vision for the athletic program and for the school as well, and the Board of Trustees support as well. I was fortunate enough to be hired as the athletic director and came in 2009. And Dr. Ritchie and I had the same vision for the athletic program, the impact it can have in the community and in the county, and, having very competitive programs, which we've started having in almost every sport we have now.
Yeah, and you've got world-class facilities here. Tell us about what you have here on the campus for the students to enjoy.
Well, absolutely. This soccer facility here, with Dr. Ritchie and his vision and the Board of Trustees, we have a state-of-art facility that's 120 by 75 yards wide. It has about 1.5 to 2 miles of drainage underneath it. When we had that downpour the last couple of days, the water was immediately taken off the pitch so that it didn't affect playing at all. No puddles, no accumulation, didn't tear up the turf. So, that's really, really nice. We have new locker rooms at the end of the field. And behind us we have a new practice pitch as well that just opened a week ago, plus these nice stands and this press box as well, and the lights. So, it's a state-of-the-art. I know a lot of Division I and Division II coaches were here this week recruiting, and they were in shock at the facility we have.
Yeah, and also, of course, the academic programs you have here are outstanding. You've got such a diversity, and I know you've got some more, new, 4-year degrees on offer.
Yes,
here now.
We offer now some bachelor programs, and each year we're adding more. We're going to add some more bachelor programs next year, so a very exciting time at Eastern Florida State. And not just for soccer, we have new tennis courts going to be start construction on in January, just at the end of the field behind the scoreboard. We just improved. We had Bruce Bochy help donate a significant amount of money to build a clubhouse for baseball, and we got a new gym floor last week. So we're really excited about the facilities we have and what will continue to improve.
Yeah, we're very thrilled at Space Coast Daily to be covering a lot of the news, about the college and all the growth of, sports. We get all the information from Mark Dakotas, and I tell you what, it's so impressive, the growth, and we look forward to some great things ahead.
Yes, thank you. We're looking forward to it, too. And we thank you for the coverage of Space Coast Daily and all the other media in Brevard County. So we're excited.
Well, we had a great first half there. What do you think? The Reavers look pretty strong, don't they?
Yeah, they've really took it to Navarro. I actually thought it was going to be a little tighter game than this, but I'm very impressed the way that Brad Silvey has his team playing in their 4-2-3-1, and just how patient they are and move that ball around.
Yeah, Jimenez, of course, scoring the first goal, and then Richards the second. Those are the two leading scorers. So going with the stats so far, the Reavers are true to form. They look very comfortable, confident, and looks to me like the Navarro team's not out of it yet, but they'll be looking to make a difference here in the first 10 minutes of the second half.
Absolutely. A two-goal lead is very dangerous. So, yeah, see if Navarro can get back in, like you said, in the next 10-15 minutes.
Now, Jeff, tell us about your background. Obviously, you came into the college here in 2009, and you've made such a difference. Tell us about your background and the experience you brought here to the college.
Well, I was a men's soccer coach at a NJCAA school in Nashville called Trevecca, and I was like the assistant AD there, and I actually was the chairman of the exercise physiology department as well. I was there for 5 years and have administration in my background, plus I've been coaching for well over 20 years at different levels. So, I was able to come here and put some of my administration and the vision for the athletic program and for our soccer program as well. Our men's team went to the national tournament this week with Coach 12 Trees. He's done a tremendous job, and the young men have in their first year of existence. And they had a win and unfortunately had a tie and then lost on PKs.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, with the local four-year college, Florida Tech, you've got a great sort of system potentially here with the junior college, and then possibly, players moving on to Florida Tech. I mean, I was a coach for many years, and as a player, you could think if you're going to a junior college somewhere, this would be a great opportunity to come with this world-class facility and possibly look to get recruited to Florida Tech. So are you developing a relationship there?
Absolutely, especially on the women's side right now. We actually have two starters that played for Fiji this year that played for me last year. One was All-American for us, and then one was our starting goalie as well. So Julia Cantor and then Courtney Houston, and then we actually probably have another one that's probably going to commit to them as well in the next week or so. So, yeah, we're really excited, and Fiji helps me with some players, pass them on to me, and then, once they graduate from here, they move on to him. So, yeah, it is. Sure. And hopefully we can do that with Chaney on the men's side as well.
Yep. I mean, Coach 12 Trees there. He's obviously got a good, strong background in soccer. And my son, in fact, goes to the college here. And it's such an attractive place to go to school now with all the programs, of course, and, all these different extracurricular activities. As a recruiter for your team, what are the keys to, bringing players into this area and attracting them? What strengths do you always try to emphasize here?
Well, the location in itself is a very attractive. We're so close to the beach, and then now with these facilities and us being our name change and offering more academic programs, I mean, it's just attractive, and that's before this facility as well. So, I mean, there's lots of positive things happening here at Eastern Florida State, again, from the bachelor programs to the academics to the facilities to the type of programs we have. This is the second year in a row we've been to the national championships. So, that helps in recruiting as well, that, hopefully every year we're competing to play at the national tournament.
Now, I'm going to put you on the spot now, Coach, for next year. We're going to see you in the semifinal, the final next year. How does the squad look?
Well, recruiting is going very, very well right now. Of course, we lose 9 of our 11 starters this year, so, hopefully our mentality is not rebuilding, it's reloading. And we do have some very special players coming in from Florida and elsewhere in the world as well, so we're really excited.
Well, it's a wonderful place. I tell you, having I was originally at school in Louisiana, and if you'd asked me to how about coming down to Central Florida to go to college here in the Melbourne area? It's a wonderful place to recruit, and with these facilities here, obviously you got very excited about the future.
Oh, we're ecstatic about the future, and again, not only in soccer, but in all our athletic programs, and and the school itself. So, the future looks very bright at Eastern Florida.
Well, indeed, with Dr. Ritchie at the helm and you helping him with the other great administrators, Mark Dakotas, its future looks very bright here at Eastern Florida. Well, once again, folks, we'll be coming up with the second half soon. Iowa Western really giving it to the Navarro Bulldogs in the first half. 2-0 to Iowa Western at halftime on goals by Jimenez and Richards. And looking forward to a great second half.
For today's answers to tomorrow's challenges, with the bold vision in a sure direction, make a choice for excellence. Look to the future. Look with excitement. Look to the east. Eastern Florida. Explore. Achieve. Succeed.
J.C. Meyerholtz, along with Giles Malone, back at Eastern Florida State, a 2-0 lead for Iowa Western. And Giles, Jimenez, and Richards getting 2 goals. Navarro with a lot of work to do here.
Yes, they do. They absolutely do, JC. I mean, it's been all the Reavers, to be honest with you. They dominated the midfield, and that's deciding this game so far. Navarro, it'll be interesting to see how they come out the second half.
I think Navarro got one decent opportunity against East, and that was about it. She was able to deflect it away. In fact, it was kind of a ball that she mishandled, but she deflected it wide. So Navarro will kick off here. Again, they will move right to left. Again, dressed out in red as the number 3 seed in this tournament. And Iowa Western, the white uniforms with the gray stripes going horizontally on the back of their jerseys, moving left to right. So again, the Reavers, if they want, they can kind of sit back a little bit and maybe pack it in, kind of like Monroe did. Hopefully not too much. And Navarro's just got to try and apply some pressure. I'm sure their coach, Debbie Bonner, was spouting her philosophy at halftime.
Yeah, the coaching staff for Navarro would have been a bit frustrated, I think, with the first half. They would have been, but they'll be encouraging their players. They're still in this. 2-0 is a dangerous score, like Jeff said. So just 1 goal they need, and they'll be right back in this match.
Here's the throw-in by Lexi Riggs. She gets it back, but intercepted by Lady Tiriot. T-I-R-I-A-T on the last name. First name Lady. She has it back. Middle of field, Flores. She'll send it to the far end.
Well, it's great to see the Iowa Western squad there. A lot of players from Utah, Nebraska there, a few. Of course, they got 1 Spaniard and 1 Brazilian on the squad, but mostly American girls.
Yeah, well, Brad Silvey's got the Utah connection going because he told me he used to coach there, used to live there, and he's got the pipeline in Utah wide open. He's got a good handful of players out of Utah.
And Navarro, of course, mostly Texan girls there. A squad full of Texas players, and then 1 Jamaican and 1 German, 1 Colombian. So. Now then, what can Navarro do to get this thing
and here's a replay of the first goal by Jimenez, kind of a sideways kick, and it goes in.
Yeah, she hit it firm enough to where the keeper just couldn't block it. But yeah, Jimenez is a dangerous player.
And here comes the one by Richards. Again, this will be her 25th of the year, and just a tap in here after hitting it off the
live
post.
action. That's a good strike.
And it's a save, and a save by East. Well, I'll tell you, looking at that goal again, the second one by Richards, boy, there are 3 red shirts right there, and none of them, they just couldn't get it quickly out of the goal mouth.
Yeah, that's a very good observation, JC. They swarmed on it, but, the Reavers player was moving forward, and she didn't take her eyes off that ball and followed up very well.
So, again, the Reavers with a 2-0 lead. Still plenty of time for Navarro. I mean, they'd like to get a goal there in the next 15, 20 minutes, and then set it up for a possible equalizer. I mean, 45 minutes, a lot of time, but trying to figure out a way to penetrate that Reavers back line. Here come the Bulldogs, trying to do it here. And knocked off the ball very nicely is Pena.
Well, it looks like Navarro has thrown caution to the wind a little bit. They've got 3 players in the back now, and it looks like Bast has moved up into midfield to strengthen up and bolster that midfield, because that's where the Reavers were doing their damage.
Here's a pass to Foster. So Bast is back in, and I mean, she was hurt, taken out. Good to see her back out there.
Good work here by Navarro.
Here's Spurrier, and sends it toward the net, and taken by East.
Yeah, Spurrier had a very good game last night. She was very influential in their victory, and see what she can do the second half.
Here's East with a punt. Gets it over the midfield line. Headed by Torres. Bass trying to save it, or actually not Bass, that's Spurrier. And it goes out. And a throw in by Iowa Western. Thrown in by Tiriot. Tiriot is out of Bogota, Colombia. One of the few international players that Brad Silvey has. Ball chipped up ahead over the midfield line. And again, they passed that rule a few years ago. You can only have, I think, 4 international players on your squad. It used to be unlimited.
Well, that's going to help in the development of the game in this country, that's for sure.
That's for sure, yeah. Reavers looking to move it up the field. Again, backtracking a little bit is Navarro. And again, Iowa Western, they can Ford just passed it around, kill the clock, but here's a steal by Foster, chipping it up ahead. Here's a
there
shot.
It is. Oh, yes.
And a goal.
Oh, yes, indeed. That combination was very effective there. We had...
That's Trudy Carter, isn't it, 18?
Exactly, yeah. Shanice Foster hooked up with Carter there, that combination. And this is, they're right back in it now. That first goal is all they needed. This will make a very interesting period.
I was talking to Rourke Montgomery, the athletic director of Navarro. While I was over at the concession stand, I said, Rourke, you need one. And they got it.
Well, you know, those two players, we said it in the first half, Shanice Foster, calmly, coolly advanced on goal here, slipped it through to Carter, and Carter, composed, calm, cool, and collected, just passed it into the back of the net. Beautiful goal by the Bulldogs.
Well, I'll tell you, talk about Carter splitting those two defenders. Made it look easy. They didn't quite close up that hole, the two defenders.
Well, that's a dream start for Navarro in the second half. That's exactly what they wanted, to get back in it.
So Carter with their 23rd goal of the year. So 2-1. Now we've got a championship match, and here's Foster. So the Navarro crowd has awakened. And this one goes out of bounds, and Navarro will throw it in. So it's been the big goal scorers for both teams this year, scoring the goals tonight. Again, Jimenez and Richards for Iowa Western, and Carter for the Bulldogs. And, you know, after Carter, their next leading scorer is Torres with 6. So, again, Carter has scored most of the goals this year.
Well, this player can certainly make it happen for Navarro, for the Reavers. That's Jimenez.
Jimenez, yeah.
Dispossessed. Navarro's definitely up the tempo.
Here's Reynolds. Goes back at defense to Thiriot. Pass back to Reynolds. Trying to get back to Thiriot. A nice steal here by Spurrier, but it's going to be sent out.
Yeah, Spurrier's getting some space down this left side, and she's making the difference. She's causing all sorts of problems.
Yeah, we're going to get a different angle here of the goal. Here comes Foster.
Shanice slipping it through to Carter. Carter timed her run very nicely. The Reavers will be disappointed they didn't clear it there, but she made no mistake.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So Foster will get the assist. Now she leads the team in assists. That's her 11th of the year. So leading goal scorer, leading assist person teaming up for Navarro, and it's 2-1 Iowa Western. We've got 38-38 to go in regulation. Again, if we're tied at the end of regulation, 2 10-minute overtimes, golden goal in effect as a shot goes high and wide over the net, and of course penalty kicks if necessary, as we have a substitution coming in for Iowa Western.
Navarro goal scored by number 18, Trudy Carter. Assisted by number 26, Shanice Foster.
Here's a kick by Medina. Actually taken by her teammate, sent up to the middle of the field. And Foster making a run for the net, trying to receive the pass, but knocked back by the Reavers. Here's Bass. Let's see how she moves out there. Again, she got helped off the field. Looks like she's moving pretty well.
Yeah, no problems. She's way in this game. Navarro's definitely up the tempo here. This is going to be a barn burner.
Ball sent about 30 yards out from net. Trying to control it is Spurrier. With it for the Reavers, Gowans. Nice inside move by Gowans. Splitting a couple of midfielders. Sends it toward the net. And it's going to be wide of the net as Medina went for the save, but it didn't matter. Goes over the goal line. Goal kick for Navarro.
Well, it's interesting, JC, that
Foster, yeah.
Shanice Foster, you know, she was too deep in the first half of Navarro. She's pushed up front there with Carter, and it's making a big difference. You know, those two are a very dynamic duo, and all they need is a little bit of a ball there, and they'll make it happen.
Ball being exchanged in the midfield area. Reavers looking to move it up. Goes out of bounds. Knocked out by Navarro. Reaver throw-in. And this one is going to go out, and it's going to be a Navarro throw-in. So the momentum so far in the first 9 minutes going to the Bulldogs. We have 36 and a half minutes to go in this match. Again, 2-1 Iowa Western. And we got a foul on the Reavers.
Yeah, Bast having pushed up into the midfield is really made a big difference for Navarro. They controlling more of the play up there.
Ball sent top of the 18-yard box. Goes back to Iowa Western as we come up on 36 minutes to go in the match.
Now you see, JC was interesting. First half, Navarro defense was sitting too deep. Now the Reavers defense is sitting too deep. They were pushing up in the first half and making it difficult for Navarro, but they're seemingly a bit comfortable on their lead, and it's may cost them.
So far, the husband and wife team of Debbie and Eric Bonner have made some nice adjustments.
Indeed.
Now, can Navarro get the equalizer? I mean, they have plenty of time. I mean, it's kind of nice to score that first goal and do it quickly. Now they can work toward tying it up as it goes out of bounds, and the Reavers will have this one. So a throw in by Tyriot as the crowd is very active in front of us. I'll tell you, both these teams have gotten their maximum stay in Florida. I mean, they were hoping to be here for at least 4 or 5 days. I mean, most of the teams arrived on Saturday, so they've been here a whole week.
Well, it's great to see. The fans have been really friendly and wonderful. We were talking to them before the game. They're having a wonderful time down here on the Space Coast, enjoying this time, special time, watching their kids play, and what a wonderful occasion here for the Space Coast.
Here's Bass trying to control it. Set up ahead and pass to
watch out. Here's Shanice.
Shot. Oh, beautiful save by East. She came down to cut down the angle.
Absolutely. That was a big play there for the Reavers. That was almost 2-2.
Ball sent top of the 18-yard box. So I'll tell you, East is seeing more of her share of action in the second half. I mean, she's had a couple of matches in this tournament where she's hardly seen any action. I mean, the Lake County match where the Iowa Western won 5-0, not much activity there. And then the win over Monroe.
Yeah, that combination of Shanice Foster and Trudy Carter really starting to catch fire.
So the Reavers looking to maintain their edge here. Anderson pass up ahead.
Watch out, though. This goal's dangerous for the Reavers. It's Jimenez.
That's Jimenez, okay. Top of the box. Deflected out. Trying to get it to Richards. Bulldogs looking to clear, and here is Bast.
Yeah, nice play by Bast here. Patiently moving the ball up.
And comes up ahead. Okay, that's Carter, who scored the first goal for 23rd of the year. Sends it toward the net, and East calmly makes the catch.
Yeah, that's a long way out there, and East had a long time to look at that one and didn't take her eyes off it.
So East with a punt to midfield, and here's a replay of that last save. Nice move by Carter, and sends it, and East makes the save.
Yeah, that was about a 12-pass move there. They brought it up from the back, and they really spread the field nicely, got it into Carter, and yeah, they're really playing nicely in the second half.
Here's some substitutions.
Navarro substitute is number 4, Amanda Olson, and for Iowa Western, number 14, Paige Flores.
You know, I can only guess. I'm wondering if Carter played any basketball in high school. I think she'd be a really good point guard, you know, slicing to the goal.
Exactly.
I mean, she's got some quick moves.
Yeah, she's a great athlete.
Ball sent back into the Navarro end.
And Riggs.
Yeah, Riggs, I'll tell you, I like her. She's not very tall, but what a soccer player.
Yeah, very smart player, very good positionally.
Reavers trying to get it back in. This is Owens, has it stolen.
It's Spurrier.
So Spurrier up over the midfield line, connects with Foster. Now to Carter. Carter kind of triple team, but she comes out of it. She's about 35 yards out from net, still trying to control. Here's a shot, but it goes wide. So East will have a goal kick. We've got 32:07 to go in regulation. 2-1 lead for Iowa Western, and a substitution for each team coming in.
Yeah, fantastic action here to begin the second half. Both teams obviously coming out to mean business.
So a goal kick for East.
Iowa Western substitution is number 11, Thais Souza.
So Souza back in. That's for Iowa Western. From Petropolis, Brazil. 31.5 minutes to go in the match.
Carter steals it.
So Carter has it. Foster's in the top of the 18-yard box if Carter can get it to her. Here's a pass. And trying to get a shot off is Pena. can't do it, and the Reavers clear to midfield.
Yeah, the Reavers had 6 players back there on the edge of the box and really formed a very good wall there to keep that ball out.
And this pass is going to go out of bounds, and this will be a Navarro throw in.
Seems like we might see some more goals before this one's over, JC.
Again, Navarro just not really known for their big goal scoring. Again, that was only their 58th goal this year. Iowa Western has 133. So they have about 2.5 times more goals than Navarro.
Yeah, it's a very interesting stat. And but Navarro, they just, it would have been easy for them to fold their tents there at halftime, but they come out here fired up, and this is a really great game in the second half.
Now again, Navarro, they've only allowed 13 goals this year. And let's see, or actually they've allowed 17 goals this year. So that's not very many. So again, kind of a defensive oriented team, as we're going to have a throw in on the far side for the Bulldogs.
It takes a great defense to get this far in these tournaments, and both teams, exceptional goalkeeping, exceptional defense. And
at midfield, it's Richards.
If Navarro can just, you get the feeling like if Carter and Foster can hook up one more time, they're going to make something happen.
And we got an injured player for Navarro. Again, Bast went down earlier, and now another player goes down.
I think that is Foster up there injured.
All right, so we'll have a delay. We got 29:56 to go in this match. Again, 2-1 in favor of Iowa Western. Again, I'm J.C. Byholtz along with Giles Malone. And again, Giles was an assistant coach on those terrific Florida Tech teams. Late 80s, early 90s. Had a couple of gentlemen that I've had a pleasure of knowing. 2 really class acts, Robin Chan and Fiji Haig. It just doesn't get better than those 2 gentlemen. And Giles with a wealth of knowledge of soccer. Worked with a Coco Espo. I mean, I'll tell you, you've done a lot of things since you left college. And again, you played at Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun at Florida Tech, JC.
Yeah.
We had some great times there, and 14 years of coaching, 2 national championships. We could have won a couple more, lost in the final twice. But players like, Robin Chan, Fitzgerald Haig, local players like Eddie Enders, came through Satellite High School. We had some Melbourne players. Keith Ames came up through the system here. We had a striker called Richard Sharp, who we recruited back in 1990. He ended up being the all-time leading goal scorer in college history. He scored 146 goals in 4 years, so he helped us quite a bit.
That was Shanice Foster being helped up. You get a good look there at Debbie Bonner, the head coach of Navarro, and you had a little earlier look there at Brad Silvey. So we'll be getting back to play here. So again,
Navarro's substitution is number 4, Amanda Olson, for number 26, Shanice Foster.
So Olson comes in for Foster. Again, Bast went out injured earlier. She was able to come back. We can only hope for the same for Foster.
Yeah, well, for those of you listening from across the country, if you'd like to see some great photographs and action from the game, tune into Space Coast Daily, because there'll be some great coverage tomorrow there for people to read. And this is a great occasion. Bright House, of course, covering this event for us, JC. What a great promotion for the area.
Yeah, WEFS TV, digital channel 68.1 on Bright House Network. So glad to be aboard. Again, that's Eastern Florida State's TV station. They do a lot of great things to promote the Titans on campus.
Yeah, it's great to be working with JB and John and the team here. It's a really nice production.
Yeah. Well, 3rd year in a row I've done it. I hope to be back for 3 more years. Again, this will be the site for 2014, 15, and 16. Again, you can't beat the weather, except for that rainstorm on Wednesday. That was tough on everybody. So Iowa Western with it, 29-17 to go in regulation. A 2-1 lead for the Reavers, trying to work it up the field. And again, the Reavers in the second half, they really haven't gotten much going like they did in the first half. And we got a foul, and this will go against Navarro.
Well, they've gone off the boil just a little bit, Navarro. They, the Reavers have seemed like they've reacted here to that goal and that almost second goal. So they've definitely woken up a bit, the Reavers.
Comes back to Tyriot, trying to chip it ahead to Anderson. Anderson being bodied up, and that was by Pena. Goes out of bounds. Reaver throwing. 28:35 to go in regulation. So plenty of time here for the Bulldogs as this one goes out of bounds, and Navarro will throw it in, and we got a Navarro substitution. Again, they had 35 their last match. Looks like they might be on pace for about that many here. So throwing for the Bulldogs. Tyriot. Battle for the ball. This one's going to go out.
Navarro substitute is number 14, Joanna Nigro, for number 22, Tiffany Robinson.
Under 28 minutes to go in this one, the national championship match. Iowa Western clinging now to a 2-1 lead. Again, Bulldogs in red, right to left on your screen, trying to work it up. Trying to get Carter unleashed again for another goal. Here we go. And knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in.
Yeah, the referee here is going to call up the player there. She was obviously holding back Carter.
Oh, a foul then, okay.
Looks like we're going to get a yellow card possibly on this one.
Wow, a yellow card, okay.
Yeah, Carter turned very nicely there, was holding off 2 or 3 players, and one of them illegally, so that one will take a bit of a rest.
So the player gets the stern lecture and the yellow card. Never a good combination. All right, that was... I think that was Katie Call.
Yeah, that's what they call a professional foul in the game, I believe. But here we go now. This is a great opportunity for Navarro. What can they do with this one, JC?
I'll tell you, this is coming from about 40 yards out. No real wall here. Sent toward the 18-yard box and headed out by the Reavers to about 35 yards out. And now the Reavers send it up to midfield. So good job by the Reavers defensively as this comes back. And that's Lexi Riggs. Lexi sends it to the other side of the field. Ball moved up to the far side. Skips past Carter. Olsen was trying to get it to Carter. Loose and taken by the Reavers. This is Sosa up for Anderson. Nice job there by Pena. Gets it back to Riggs. Tap to Pena. Goes over the foot of Olsen. And the Reavers take it back. So again, as you mentioned, Giles, the Reavers have kind of settled down after giving up that goal.
Yeah, you kind of feel as though Navarro, though, they're definitely looking for Carter up front and looking for Shanice Foster's coming back in after that injury. So if they can just hook up those two once or twice, we might see some more action in the goal.
Here come the Bulldogs. That's Carter with it. Trying to split a couple of midfielders again. Blind pass, though, is going to be taken by Sosa, and she'll clear it up to midfield. Sent back in, loose ball, but the Reavers have it back, but Spurrier intercepts. Spurrier trying to get it to Olsen. And the Reavers able to get it out with Flores.
Well, Jimenez, of course, that very dangerous striker for the Reavers. She's been very quiet here in the second half. Not many touches on the ball. They've been able to keep her under wraps here in the second half.
25:40 remaining in the match. 2-1 Iowa Western. High ball sent deep into the Navarro end. Trying to get under it and settle it was Prosaki, and it goes out, or Prosowski. Played into Anderson, chips at top of the 18-yard box, deflected, and
nice
the Bulldogs able to get it out. It goes over the foot, though, of Bast, and goes over Olsen's foot. We got a foul on Iowa Western. The Reavers crowd doesn't like that one.
Early ball forward to Carter.
Carter shot. Oh, it just went wide. Oh, Carter had a great idea, but she hooked it just a little bit too much.
Yeah, she saw the keeper out off her line a little bit, and good idea by Carter there. Good early free kick taken by Bast, and that was almost curtains for the Reavers.
It was wide by a few feet, but great effort there by Carter. Here's a replay here. Watch this shot by Carter. Yeah, that wasn't wide by very much. All right, well, Navarro just has to keep pressing. Comes back to Bass. I'll tell you, Bass has some nice moves with that ball. Pass goes past Carter and past Foster. Foster deflects, trying to keep the pressure on, but the Reavers get it back toward midfield. And there's a foul against Navarro. That was Anderson going to the ground. Not Anderson, that was Souza going to the ground.
Yeah, Riggs just clipped a heel there. Didn't control it very nicely, but this is a key part of the game, JC. What, 23 minutes remaining? 2-1 to the Reavers. Navarro knocking on the door a couple of times, and the Reavers, though, really defense is having another good night.
Here's Flores, and it goes out of bounds. And some more substitutions. And for once, it's not Navarro. It's an Iowa Western substitution.
What a well-run tournament this has been, JC. I mean, Jeff Carr and the gang, from the ball boys to the concessions to the field maintenance, this has been absolutely first class.
And ball saved from going out of bounds. Riggs back on defense. Kind of a dangerous cross-field pass, and it's intercepted. The shot, and it's deflected. I'll tell you, that could have been $1 million shot there, but did get deflected over the net. That was a poor giveaway there.
Yeah, Gowans just pounced upon that mistake there, and it was. I think that ball was bound for the top corner if it hadn't got that deflection.
I think it would have been, yeah. All right, so this is going to be a corner kick. And I'll tell you, we really haven't had too many corner kicks tonight. They've been kind of few and far between. Not really that many fouls, not really that many corner kicks.
Yep, there's been some very nice soccer played, though. Both teams really showing some great discipline to put on such a great exhibition.
So this is Gowans with a corner kick, top of the 18-yard box. It's loose. Comes back out. Gowans, shot, and it's a goal.
Yes, indeed.
Gowans scores, and Iowa Western back up by 2, 3-1. Gowans with her second goal of the tournament. She had a big one the other day against Monroe, the only score there, and she gets a big one here with 22:08 remaining.
Yeah, that ball just bounced nicely for the Reavers once again. It fell down to Gowans there. She had quite a bit of time, and the Navarro side didn't close it down quickly enough. She picked her spot and hit it perfectly off the inside of the crossbar, beating the goalkeeper.
So for Gowans. And here's Gowans again. We got the replay.
Yeah, off a corner kick. That ball was played in. It was half cleared, but came right out to Gowans here, and she just measured it, took her time, and just picked her spot perfectly just under the crossbar in the inside left corner. Great goal.
Well, again, that's another illustration in soccer to follow your shot. And that ball came back toward Gowans, and why not take a shot at it?
Yeah, it was
Iowa
a
Western
bit
goal
fortunate.
scored unassisted by number 4, Nicole Gowans.
Yeah, big round of applause again. It was a bit fortunate it came right back to her, but she definitely took advantage of it, and that's been the class act. Gowans has been outstanding in midfield tonight, and what an impact on the game that is. 3-1.
So Navarro, a little bit deflated. A 2-goal deficit once again for the Bulldogs. But not insurmountable. 21:15 remaining.
Absolutely.
In regulation, but I mean, they have to think about scoring maybe in the next 10 minutes.
Absolutely, yeah, they're still in this one by a long shot. All they need is just 1 or 2 chances, and this will go down to the wire if they can get a goal back soon.
Out of bounds, far side of the field, Bulldog throwing into Foster, and goes back toward midfield as the Bulldogs look to reorganize. Coming out is Carter, trying to split a couple of midfielders. Nice pass, Foster, trying to get back to Carter. Not there. Outside Pena, trying to control, being pressured.
Yeah, nice patient play, but
too far for Evans, out of bounds, and Reavers throw in, and a Reavers substitution.
Yeah, Foster, Shanice has been a bit quiet since she went off with that injury, but she just came alive again there.
Iowa Western substitute is number 12, Audrey Palmer, for number 20, Brianne Richards.
Thiriot throws it into Anderson. Got 20:10 remaining in the match. Again, a 3-1 Iowa Western lead. Here's Anderson. And Anderson celebrated her birthday yesterday, 19. She celebrated yesterday with a semifinal win. She'd like to celebrate the day after with a national championship. That would be a bad combination.
Look at that work by Gowans there, JC. She's really having a great night tonight.
Comes outside. Anderson trying to feed it middle of the 18-yard box, and the Bulldogs able to clear it out.
Number 4, Nicole Gowans, a freshman midfielder from Orem, Utah. She's just scored that goal, of course, and really got great skill on the ball. Here she is again. Look at that turn.
Yeah, nice turn there. Top of the 18-yard box. And Bulldogs looking to clear it out, but the Reavers putting on a lot of pressure, but a foul on the Reavers. Now the Bulldogs will be able to get possession. We're going to get a clock stoppage. Let's see why. We got 19:14 remaining.
Yeah, Owens shaking up a bit there. Her ankle, I think she got a knock there in that challenge. She's limping back.
Well, again, the bulk of the players on both teams are freshmen, so barring something unforeseen, most of the players on both these teams are going to be back next year, and I certainly wouldn't be surprised if both of these clubs are back here next year. And I know Tyler in Texas will have something to say about that because they always are very good. So throw in here for Riggs for the Bulldogs. Here's Pena. Ball dropped back to Vargas and goes out of bounds.
Well, outstanding players tonight. Obviously, you go look at Jimenez in the first half and her strike force partner Richards getting those 2 goals. Gowans came alive for the Reavers in the second half. The stars, the superstars for the Bulldogs, of course, Shanice Foster and Trudy Carter, having a great night.
Navarro substitute is number 8, Melina Prado, for number 23, Erica Pena.
That ball went so high, I think it's got snow on it, JC.
Oh, yeah. Please, no snow. 18:50 to go. There's
Look
a shot.
out.
And it goes wide.
Nice effort there.
I think that was Prado, or was that Carter?
Yeah, Prado had a good strike there. It was just wide, though.
Okay. So exactly 18 minutes to go, and 3-1, Iowa Western. Here's a goal kick by East. Low ball sent shy of midfield. Trying to make a turn up is Anderson, but deflected back by Torres. Here's Riggs. Riggs pass to Carter.
That's a lovely ball wide here.
Goes wide to Evans. Chips the top of the 18-yard box. Deflected, but cleared out by the Reavers.
Yeah, see, now in the first half, Reavers had a couple of breaks where that ball just fell right to him, but that time Navarro couldn't get it.
Ball chipped ahead to Palmer.
Oh, nicely played by Riggs there, heading it back to a keeper.
And Medina comes out and gathers it in, gets a very high, short punt off. Players battling for the ball. That's Gowans along with Evans. We got a foul on Evans. So we'll have a kick here for Iowa Western.
Yeah, Taya Souza, she's a long way from home, from Petropolis, Brazil. They'll be hosting the World Cup Finals next summer, JC.
Oh, really? Wow. That's right, Brazil, yeah. I think when you think of men's soccer, you always think about Brazil. Going back to Pele in 1970 and after that. Ball loose, about 35 yards out from net. Anderson chips it up ahead. Palmer trying to settle it. Still has it. Now deflected. Bast trying to come out again and lead the charge. And here's Carter. Carter has Foster ahead of the field. Feeds it. Is she onside? No, she is not.
I'll tell you, what a great move there. Bass just absolutely steamrolled through the midfield there. She came forward with great strength and put it to Carter and almost put Shanice Foster in there. Great effort. Great move by Navarro.
So, offsides for the Bulldogs, but, they have to try a few of those. What do they got to lose?
Absolutely.
An offside isn't like a penalty. There's no infraction from it. It's just a change of possession. So why not try it?
Yep. Shanice just needed to hold her run just a little bit earlier there, a little bit later, and she would have been in on the keeper.
16 and a half minutes to go in this match, and we got a foul. So Iowa Western will have a possession there.
Well, kudos to Rusty Buchanan, the Space Coast Sports Promotions, and for helping to bring this tournament to the area. I know Woody's working with him. Connie Alden's working with him this week. Really a lot of work for the local organizing committee to put this on. And
Iowa Western substitute is number 20, Brienne Richards, for number 12, Audrey Palmer.
Yeah, Rusty Buchanan does so much for this community, bringing in sporting events. I think they account for 8% of hotel room generation on the Space Coast.
Well, I know the local economy loves it. Fill up those hotel rooms. Why not?
Incredible statistic.
Then you have the Christmas holidays coming up, so really a boost for Brevard County. You know, Thanksgiving holidays coming up, more hotel rooms. They'll be cleared out of these players pretty much after tonight, and back to Navarro, Texas, back to Council Bluffs, Iowa for these two clubs tomorrow.
Very neat play there by Gowans. She beat Bast on that one.
Iowa Western deep in the Navarro end.
Well, looking at the players tonight, you know, you're picking out Gowans, you're picking out Jimenez, you're picking out Bast. Some wonderful performances.
Here comes Torres. Pass up ahead, Carter trying to settle it. Knocked off the ball nicely. Set back up toward midfield. Yeah, it's going to be tough to pick an MVP for Iowa Western. They've had so many, good players. I mean, probably the goal scorers tonight, Richards and Jimenez have to be considered.
Yeah, in the second half, Gowans has really stepped up. She's been very, very comfortable in midfield, doing a lot of great work for the Reavers. Here she is again now.
And here comes Gowans. And the ball goes out of bounds. And, I probably should have checked this out. I'm not sure. I mean, do they do an all-tournament team? Do they do MVPs? Okay. So that'll be interesting to read when that's published. All right, so far end of the field, throw in for the Reavers with 13:10 to go in the match, and the Reavers up by 2. So it's 2-0 at halftime for Iowa Western. Navarro got a pretty quick goal, but the Reavers have extended it back to a 2-goal lead. And here is a kick from the goal mouth of Navarro.
Navarro substitutes are number 13, Shelby Evans, and number 17, Nyalani Garcia.
Nyalani Garcia back into the match.
Yep, she
for
scored
Navarro.
Scored the winner last night.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. Yeah, it was a big goal and only her second of the year. Ball deflected, and Foster can't catch up to it. It's going to be cleared out of bounds by the Reavers. Oh, no, it's not. Boy, curled back in.
Comes Richards.
My apologies on that. Richards was able to save it. A little give and go back to Richards. That goes too far.
Good ball forward to Carter.
That was by Pena to Carter. Foster trying to settle. But the Reavers able to clear it. Gets deflected. And let's see, this will go to the right of the corner kick stick, so it's going to be a throw-in for the Reavers. 11:50 to go in the match. 3-1, Iowa Western.
I see Merritt Island defeated Palm Bay reading on Space Coast Daily now. And of course, Tim Wakefield receives a Brooks Robinson Service Award here, reading this live on Space Coast Daily.
Yeah. Tim Wakefield, boy, does he give back to Brevard County.
Yep. Of course, BCC or Eastern Florida superstar Bruce Bochy, recently inducted into the Hall of Fame here on the Space Coast.
Yeah, the baseball field just over in the distance, named after him.
Yeah, great tradition of sports here in Eastern Florida.
And it comes back to midfield. Here's Foster, about 35 yards out from net, chips it up ahead, looking for Carter, deflected out. Again, Navarro seems to be in the right spots, trying to push it forward. Just that Iowa Western back line in midfield is awfully good and taken away by the Reavers. Souza trying to get away from Evans. And now Anderson with a pass. Goes to Flores. And the Reavers are, it's almost like, I hate to use basketball again, but kind of going into their delay game here.
Yeah, number 10 in the back, Danica Hansen, the number 10, the central defender, and Kiona Christensen have been excellent for the Reavers in central defense all tournament long. At 10 and number 6 there, they must say their defense has been key to their success.
Here's Anderson, chipping it up about 15 yards, but intercepted by Nutley. 10:07 to go in the match.
It's probably now or never, JC, for the Navarro Bulldogs. They've got to pull something out, get that ball forward to Carter and Shanice Foster. And it'll be a very interesting last 10 minutes if they can squeeze one out now.
Oh, yeah, time definitely becoming a factor for Navarro. Even if they're only down by 1, it would be. But down by 2, they need to figure out a way to at least get another and make this more interesting. Too far for Foster.
Yeah, Shanice Foster almost broke it loose there. Should be disappointed she didn't control that one.
Anderson pass comes to Souza, back to Anderson.
Now then.
And intercepted. That's Carter circling, gives to Foster. But kind of a blind pass and taken by Souza. Foster had it, lost it. Reavers clear it back deep into the Bulldogs' end. Medina comes far out of the net.
Here.
And here's a ball. It's going to go wide of the net.
Yeah.
Slowly wide. Like Navarro's whole life was before them.
Yeah, a bit of confusion there between the goalkeeper and the defender. Not sure what to do, and very fortunate they didn't give up a 4th goal there.
And we got some more substitutions coming in. Wonder if Navarro's going to approach their, I assume what was a record for them, 35 in one match in their last match.
Well, interesting to see Shanice Foster taking a rest there with 10 minutes to go, 8 minutes to go. She's off.
Reavers trying to control it. So are the Bulldogs. Here's Pena. And here comes Riggs. Riggs has her pass deflected. Comes back over the midfield line. Here's Richards. Pass far side. And this one's going to go over the goal line. And this will be a goal kick for Medina. We've got 8:07 to go in the match.
Well, the striker for the Reavers, Jimenez, the Spaniard, she scored, of course, the first half. She is playing much deeper in the second half now. She's dropped back into the midfield. She's trying to shore up this lead here, and they're trying to coast to victory.
You know, Giles, I'm not a soccer aficionado like you, but I'm always wondering the debate about subbing too much, trying to keep fresh legs in there, but then losing chemistry with the players on the field.
Yeah, that's a very good point. We always believed in trying to keep our best players on there as much as possible.
And the ball goes out of bounds. I mean, that's why you got to get in superior condition to play soccer, because certainly at crunch time, you want your big players out there.
Yeah, with 7.5 minutes to go, you definitely want Shanice Foster on the field at this point.
Yeah, again, with the Bulldogs, I mean, certainly Carter and Foster aren't going to come out, you wouldn't think. Here's Souza. Souza with some nice moves. Up at the Tyria. Let's see if she crosses this. She does. Chips it toward the net, and Medina's right there to scoop it up on one hop.
Look at now Jimenez, the striker. She's all the way back at left back in defense for the Reavers. She's playing very, very deep.
6:49 remaining. A little bit of a collision in midfield, but we play on. And ball goes out of bounds off the Reavers. Bulldog throw-in right near their bench. Well, again, Giles, you mentioned it's been a fun week here for me, although doing 3 quadruple headers in 3 days was kind of a challenge.
JC, I tell you what, hats off to you. You've been a real stalwart here this tournament. Absolutely tremendous work.
I mean that's not a physical stamina on me. That's like a mental stamina. But I've done it 3 years in a row, so it's a lot of fun to be out here. It really is. And again, Jeff Carr, great job in running this tournament. Again, wearing 3 hats: tournament director, athletic director, head women's coach, and then always was wondering, as the ball goes out of bounds, was wondering in Tyler, Texas, how the men were doing. So he's got all these things on his mind. Things are slowing down for him a little bit right now.
Yeah, well, Dr. Ritchie, of course, bringing in people like Jeff, and it's a real testament to the development of this college. I'd say it's most impressive.
And here come the Reavers trying to get it out. We got 5:44 remaining, and Navarro is running out of time. Again, their 6th trip to the national tournament in 10 years, but still looking for that first national title, as is Iowa Western. Again, their highest finish, 06 and 07, back-to-back years, national runner-up. They look like they're finally going to break through. Here's Bast for the Bulldogs.
Bast has had a great tournament. She really has.
Well, if I had to pick an all-tournament team, I think Bast would certainly make it.
Yeah, Bast, Riggs, Foster. Trudy Carter, of course, for Navarro.
Ball chipped up ahead. Of course, when you have 12 teams, it was expanded from 8 to 12. Not as many spots as you would like. And you're talking about a lot of players. I mean, certainly well over 300 players, you would think, total in this tournament.
Yeah, wonderful talent.
Figure 25 or 30 at least on a roster, maybe more.
Yeah, well, Shanice Foster's back in for the last 5 minutes, JC. Navarro just desperately trying to get something going here, but the Reavers' defense is holding strong.
4:38 remaining. Here's Riggs. Riggs looks upfield. Sends a pass over to the side. This is Evans. Evans, though, has it deflected and taken by the Reavers. Set up to midfield. This is Palmer trying to split a couple of defenders. And taken away by Nutley.
Good work by Nutley there. Bass looking for Shanice, but the Reavers' exceptional defense.
So here come the Bulldogs trying to move it up. Under 4 minutes remaining. Making a run. Far side. And goes over the goal line. And it's going to be a goal kick. Well, I'll tell you, Navarro is really hoping for a corner kick there, but it's going to be a goal kick for East.
Yeah, the defender, well, the striker for the Reavers, Jimenez, again, playing deep in defense, making the difference back there.
So East will have another goal kick, and again, East is just a freshman from Ogden, Utah, so she'll be back next year to help Iowa Western defend their title, which looks like that's what it's going to be. There's still 3:15 to go. Don't want to speak too soon, and ball goes out of bounds. And again, I mentioned this yesterday, Iowa Western played Iowa Central in their match for the right to get here, and Iowa Central led 1-0 in the last minute and a half, and wouldn't you know it, Iowa Western scored 2 goals in the last minute and a half and won 2-1.
Wow.
Can you imagine Iowa Central and how badly they felt? They were on the brink coming here. So I don't want to write any team off, especially after that match. I mean, anything can happen.
Well, that shows the strength of character of this team of Iowa Western. They really never say die. A lot of leaders on that team, that's for sure.
And if you're the Reavers in the back of your mind, you certainly don't want that happening to you in the last minute and a half. So they look pretty focused out there, and the Bulldogs just hoping to get one through here. We have 2:30 remaining.
Well, if anyone can make it happen, it's Bast to Shanice Carter.
So Carter with it, trying to make her typical move, kind of a move to the right, running it up, being pursued by a couple of Reavers, goes down, and set back toward midfield.
Yeah, that was Jimenez versus Carter there, and Jimenez won out.
Riggs with it for the Bulldogs. Sent up middle of the field. We have exactly 2 minutes to go in this championship match. Sent toward the top of the 18-yard box, headed out by Tyrion. There's a center toward the net, but not able to get there quickly enough was Torres. And we got a collision. And I don't know if the official saw that, but now he sees an injured player for Iowa Western, and 1:39 remains in the match, and that's Palmer. She's getting up, a little shaken up, but at least she got up pretty quick.
Yeah, Kiona Christensen in the back there making a key defensive play, clearing that ball, and a very good early ball from Navarro across the box. But once again, the central defenders, Christensen and Hansen, really holding strong for the Reavers.
And I guess it was Palmer that was called for the foul. Or no, it wasn't a foul. She was injured. That's right. So Palmer going out, and she'll be a little bit woozy, but it'll be a happy woozy in about a minute and 39.
Yeah,
when you get hurt and you win a championship, it tends to go away a little bit.
Exactly.
Pain,
yeah,
so.
The players are up on their feet over there on the bench. They're very excited with a minute and a half left in this one. They could be national champs.
So Palmer actually being helped off a little bit. So Bast will take a kick for Navarro. 1:39 to go. Again, Navarro is down by 2. So the ball is dropped by the official. Bass gets the ball back. Good 40 yards out from net. Tries to get it to the top of the 18-yard box. It's Foster trying to get her head on it. Loose ball. Reavers trying to kick it out. Carter trying to apply some pressure along with a couple of her teammates. And it comes back to midfield. Here come the Reavers. They really haven't had too many rushes here in the second half, not as many as the first half, but they've done what they had to do to maintain this lead. We have 1:07 remaining. Ball cleared up over the midfield line. Here
1 minute
pass.
remaining in regulation.
Here's Foster to Carter. Carter's shot is wide. Just wide, and it goes over the goal line. Navarro has to hurry here and get a corner kick. I'll tell you, it'd be a lot more interesting if it was a 1-goal deficit right now with this corner kick coming up.
Well, that was a great effort there by Carter, but Kelsey East diving to her right there low. Very, very good save by the keeper.
So here's the corner kick by Navarro, desperately looking to get closer. Shot deflected over the goal line, and this is going to be a goal kick for East. And I think it's safe to say in about 20 seconds, Iowa Western is going to win the national championship. We're down to 15 seconds to go.
Well, congratulations to both teams. It's been a wonderful final. You've got to give credit to Navarro and their squad. They'll be very
10,
disappointed.
9,
and all credit
8,
to both
7,
squads.
6,
And
5,
he's really in no intention
4,
to kick
3,
this ball up.
2,
I see the smile on
1.
her face. Look at that smile. Kelsey East in that baby blue outfit. And Council Bluffs, Iowa is going to be celebrating tonight. Maybe they'll go over the border to Omaha and have a steak. But Iowa Western has won the national championship. Again, third place last year, runner-up finishes 06-07. They finally get to the top of the mountain. Well, Giles, we only have a few more minutes left. Pretty good championship match. I mean, Navarro tried to come back. They did get that early goal, but then Iowa Western was able to counterattack and get the insurance goal.
Well, it's outstanding, JC. Very impressed with both teams. What a great night for Iowa Western Community College. Many congratulations to everyone at the college. It's a wonderful occasion for them. But also Navarro, they'll be back. They've got some great girls there, but thoroughly enjoyed it, and many congratulations to both squads.
Okay, we're gonna get some highlights here of the goals. And again, all these goals were
this
pretty
is the
interesting to
Jimenez
look at.
one. She pounced on that one, didn't make any mistake. The keeper tried to keep it out, but too strong for her. Jimenez 1-0 there for the Reavers. Great celebration.
So I made it 1-0, and here's the second goal.
Yeah, this is Richards now pouncing on the non-clearance and sticking it in the back off the post, following up the rebound and buries it at the back of the net. Very happy.
And again, follow your shot. Mostly good things will happen. Here's the third goal coming up.
This is
Corner
Gowans
kick.
now. It's off the corner, comes out to Gowans, fortuitously bounces right to her. She very, very composed, puts her head up there, picks a spot. What a great shot into the top left corner off the crossbar.
And I'll tell you, if you're Navarro, you got to get out there quicker and really counterattack Owens. I mean, she kind of stood there for a couple of seconds as we're back live as Iowa Western in a very happy huddle there. But really 2 goals where they followed their shots. One from very in close and another one from about 15 yards.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think Iowa Western was a bit stronger, a bit deeper. Their defense was outstanding. Of course, their goalkeeper there making that late save there off of Carter. You got to hand it to them. Look at the girls celebrating. They had a great tournament, and they'll remember this for the rest of their lives.
Well, I'll tell you, that's about going to do it from Melbourne, Florida. Giles, a thrill to work with you. And again, 16 games in the books. We had that one extra game, that tiebreaker, that 3-way tiebreaker we had to play. So, and got through a big rain shower on Wednesday without any delays. So another successful tournament. A lot of work by, as you mentioned, Rusty Buchanan, Jeff Carr, and a whole host of others. So, hopefully I'll see you next year.
Thank you, JC.
All right, J.C. Myholz for Giles Malone. Thank you so much for watching. Again, Iowa Western, the Reavers from Council Bluffs, Iowa, the national champions for 2013. Thank you so much for watching, and good night from Melbourne, Florida.
When you are seeking a better future with people who care, in a way that matters, in a place you love, when you are looking for a challenge and encouragement that empowers, when you are looking to change the world with those who can see beyond the surface, when you are looking for solutions, make a choice for excellence. Look to the east, Eastern Florida. Explore, achieve, succeed.